Oh God!
We're actually live. Welcome everybody
Oh dear.
to Multiclass Act plays Starfinder episode 5.
Woo!
There's really not too much to cover, I think, before we get started, other than let's just get started. Do any of you have any questions about the last session or today's session before we start?
Not at the moment.
Nothing.
Fantastic. So a little recap, where we last left the crew of the Gant, who had landed on Absalon Station. You met with, or were met by, Commander Ursula of the Stewards, the sort of interplanetary police among the Pack Worlds. You were a bit more standoffish and aggressive than most people seem to be, but they welcomed you to Absalon Station after clearing the fact that the Gant is no longer wanted, so it had an APB out for it. You are directed to go speak to First Seeker U of the Starfinder Society, which you did, and found out that you have unintentionally, perhaps, sort of uncovered a cold case that might be 300 years older or more. You were offered a position within the Starfinder Society and given a little bit of time to think about what you wanted to do. There was some healthy discussion about what to do next, including a semi-public communication between Thurgood and your manager, who under duress has been told to go to Apostate to do some live reporting on a Tuco potential contender named Blue, which might cause some issues for Nival, as we learned. Revealed they were a former champion many years ago. Eventually, First Seeker U arrived, formally extended an invitation into the Starfinder Society, and granted you all the rank of Cognifier, a symbolic rank, which seems to give you possibly a little bit more power, or a little bit more influence. No, it's up on this.
I know.
But you became Cognifiers and have been told that you might need to go to a planet named Dimipi to potentially investigate a message that was received that isn't nearly as time sensitive as potentially Thurgood's issues. But before any of that can be done, the Gant needs to be retrofitted. Doff wants to go see some potential family, and you need to wait for Data File Tazafrir to hopefully come out of a stress-induced sort of fugue state with some more information. That's pretty much where we left off. There was a little bit of spaghettified gangers and, and a wonderful food court moment, but aside from that, that was the main meat and potatoes of the last session. Anybody have any questions about that before we hop in?
Had we decided if we were going to go to in the meantime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now I have you guys going puddle.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
puddles on the list, and we had Sakras on the list
Start with some
to
errands.
to potentially hire some crew.
There actually is a point about
hands
that.
or-
I realized after the fact. The Gant can't really fit many more people.
Oh, okay.
So you actually don't need to hire a crew right now, really, at all. That's sort of
Awesome.
my bad, but there's only 6 bunks, really.
Mhm.
And you all have enough to manage it. So in the event you guys get a bigger ship down the road, that's a bridge you can cross. But right now you're good.
Fair. That makes things
Cross
easier.
off the list?
Yeah.
Easy job complete, task done.
Yes.
Yeah, quest complete, level up. No. You don't level up. No. So where we're gonna pick up today is the Gant being repositioned to Puddles, an area of Absalon Station on one of the outward arms. We'll call it the eastern arm, if that matters, to be hopefully retrofitted under the guidance and cost of the Starfinder Society. Hopefully here you can also sell some of the scrap that's inside the bottom of the Gant, the drift spaceship you guys collected. So who's currently flying the ship?
Probably me.
Probably you still? Okay. So as you're guiding the Gant in towards Puddles, you're getting a good look at it for the first time. Puddles is a strange apparatus bolted to the side of that station. It's made up of these large globules that look like canisters or reservoirs that all seem to be filled with, from the outside, looks like water. You can see, even as you're drifting forwards through the viewport of your bridge, that there's a myriad of creatures, humanoid in shape for the most part, just swimming through many of these little globules. It's very clearly like an environmental containment unit made for people who require aquatic environments. Probably where it gets the name Puddles. You can see that there is a distinct area for you to drive the Gant into to find a sort of docking arm, and you have been after the fact, been told to go to Conquito's Bowl. It's the name of the shipyard that will be able to retrofit the Gant. At least the one that has a healthy relationship with the Starfinder Society. As you pilot the Gant very, very carefully through the progressively narrower and narrower sort of encapsulated scaffold, you find yourself, well, nestled deep within inside puddles, sort of reminiscent of, you imagine how the Gant was like inside the Mayapostas all those, well, days, if not hundreds of years ago. But eventually, Conquito's shipyard becomes readily visible. Bright neon signs flashing in the distance, and you can even see several other ships dock, either awaiting retrofitting or awaiting pickup from their owners and captains. Without much to do, you manage to bring the Gant right up alongside and dock. As soon as the airlock hits the side of the ship and you begin to make your way off, you can see that from the airlock that's connected to the side of your ship, it is leaking water. On the other side of this tube, it is presumably pressurized and completely liquid. You are safe right now, but it looks like the floor you're walking on, it pretty regularly gets damp and wet. So if anything goes horribly wrong, like seal breaks, you might find yourself underwater. So keep that in mind, especially the furry among you. But you make your way into Conquito's Bowl and sort of await, potentially, really someone to call on you. You can see through a very large sort of aquarium window that there's currently a small ship being worked on, completely submerged underwater. There's a couple of Kalos, which are an aquatic type race that you'd all be familiar with in this world, who are working in their natural environments. Sans any environmental protection, they're going through and fixing this small ship up, which looks to be a racer of sorts. Sort of a daredevil's ship, if anything. Eventually, you do hear, sort of keying in through the comms, I'll be with you in just one moment. Kindly make yourselves at home and, well, don't try to open any doors. And it comes from nowhere. You can't see where the voice is, just through an intercom speaker in the corner. But after a few moments, one of the doors opens up. A sploosh of water comes out, maybe about ankle deep, and walking along on these pseudopod-like legs is an Ichikti. It's a weird particular race, but it's a squid-like creature that Maku you would definitely recognize as being native to the Viscarium, but relatively uncommon outside of it. This Ichikti, presumably Conquita, is wearing now what looks to be scuba gear in the open air. They're most certainly an underwater breather, and for now are, well, having to deal with your guys' atmosphere. But they come striding out on their pseudopods with their sort of pallid gray skin with very, very bright orange spots patterned all over their body that you can see sort of sticking out in places underneath this scuba apparatus they have put on. One of the more distinctive features of this particular race is the fact that they have essentially two faces, one at the base of the sort of squid-like body, and the other at the very, very top with a set of eyes, which seems to be the one that's looking at you all, despite the mouth at the bottom, speaking. Greetings, good to meet you, and you must be some members of the society. We don't get too many members, or too many guests, or too many customers who don't at least have some affiliation. Conquita is my name, and they throw a very wide, if not awkward, bow, and a flourish of the hand, which you see has affixed to it a mechanical hand affixed to the end of the pseudopod, which has multiple fingers, as if to wave. How may I be of service?
I go in for a handshake.
And he sticks the hand straight up, and you can see, despite them only being about 3 feet tall, maybe, the pseudopod extends outwards enough to be able to grab your hand at a comfortable level for you. It has a surprisingly firm grasp in the mechanical hand.
Hi, name's Thurgood Vale. We're all newly minted members of the society. We were looking to get a refit on our ship, the Gant.
You've come to the absolute right place, then. What sort of work are you looking to have done?
Well, we got about, two cargo holds worth of scrap, so we were thinking we could maybe exchange that for a little bit of work. I think primary thing is we want to get our pilot fitted with something that's more
Athletic.
Yeah, look,
Physical?
yeah. That's Nival. Look at him go.
Well, that's something that certainly can be done. We can absolutely refit the bridge and the cockpit with such a thing. A control suit is what we call it. And it'll allow you to use your considerable strength as opposed to just, well, lock and hand-eye coordination to move such a ship so big.
That sounds much more suitable.
Anything else that needs to be done? Any repairs? New paint job, perhaps?
Guns.
Paint
Guns.
job. Paint job too.
The real guns. That's what we got, right?
Yeah, coil
Yeah.
gun.
Coil
Coil
guns.
gun. Yeah, we got a coil gun in our cargo. Like,
I think we got a missile launcher
Yeah, a little
too.
micro missile battery. So I've already kind of done the work behind the scenes for the ship,
Nice.
but there is some questions that need to be asked for you all. Sure. The Gant, even with moving in this cargo, exchanging it for work, will allow the control rig to be installed, no problem. But there's only so much space left in the power grid of the ship right now to allow you to basically install one of the two weapons you got, keeping the main big gun you have, or removing the big gun and putting on these two little guns. It's entirely up to you what you guys want to do, but that's what the budget sort of allows for.
Mhm.
Big gun plus one other gun or two little guns.
Mhm.
What are you guys thinking?
What do we have attached right now?
A master.
Mhm.
It's a great big heavy gun which will like drain nearly a quarter of your power per shot, but also hits like a truck.
What's the capacity on the missiles?
It has 5 rounds before it needs to be reloaded, so you get 5 shots per combat.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the other one is sort of a generalist
A
weapon.
general weapon, yeah. Very long range, pretty low on power draw. It's almost the same as the Master, just noticeably not as power.
What was our power core again?
I believe you have 100 power in the power core.
Gonna call a huddle. Okay. I think we're better. I think the thing we got mounted right now, bit of a big investment, right? I think we can afford to be a little more nimble, maybe load up the missiles and have a more adaptable, smaller gun. That's just me. I'll be
think,
fired.
Yeah, I think you're on the right
Yeah.
the right page there.
Fair enough. We want to hang on to the big gun, or we want to
Hang on to it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just to keep it in the
Yeah.
hold.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what I communicate to our friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plan is to keep the big Master, or put on both guns. Sorry.
Put on both guns and then keep the
Okay, we'll make that adjustment right now on your ship.
Or our power core's 200, but still, we don't want a gun that's going to be a huge drain each time.
Yeah. Micro battery. Bam. Adjusted. Easy peasy.
Mhm.
And there was some mention of a paint job you've asked for. So what are you thinking over there, Doc?
Can we paint it purple?
Yeah.
Can we put on spots?
I'm on board with that.
Can
Oh,
we put on spots like you? I really like your spot. I'm Maku Makadin.
Conquita.
I really like your stretchy. I'm gonna stretch his arms.
It is just like rubber.
I really like your arms. They're very cool.
Well, they serve their purpose, I suppose. Only these ones stretch. All the other ones are a bit more rigid.
please don't try that.
Don't.
I'm thinking a nice, tasteful purple, maybe. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like a
and
subtle, like deep purple. What do you think?
I think that we should paint it purple. You guys can choose whatever purple. I just think I like purple.
Okay.
And I really like our new friend's spots. So wouldn't it be kind of cool if we put the spots on the ship?
Perhaps the spots can go into your bedroom.
Yeah.
There
Neon
you go.
green spots.
Yes, that is a great compromise.
Can we do
Well
that?
done.
It's your bedroom.
Absolutely, we could. Yes, yes, that can be done. When we retrofit the ship and fix it, I will ask that you remove all of your personal effects from the vessel, as we will be flooding it to do our work.
Done.
It's already on your back.
Okay.
If you would like spots such as mine, I'll consider it a great honor, to be honest, and I'll personally paint it myself.
I would love that. Can you sign it too when you're done?
Absolutely, yes. That can
Maku's
be
just like hopping with excitement.
beside yourself,
From ear to
ready.
ear.
So, paint job,
Yeah.
weapons, repairs will be included if any need to be done. Anything else you can think of?
With the scrap, because
Yes.
the Starfinder Society is covering like the costs, can we just bank that BP for later?
It already has been included as you'll notice if you are looking at the sheet. You have some bonus BP that have been factored in already. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, when we talked about the ship originally as well, you were talking about like bays and stuff. What space do we have left on here for things, or did we have any?
Yeah,
like,
so right now you have 4 expansion bays on the ship, which are
okay.
currently cargo holds. They are the
Right,
ones
okay.
that can be switched out and modular. You have a further 2, which are right now a shuttle bay. But you could sort of pull the shuttle bay out and put in other things if you wanted to.
Okay, and right now we essentially have like 4 functions in one bay, right? Like
Yes.
the power core, engineering, shields, and life support are all
Yeah, they're not,
crammed in together.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's more of a just a design function than an actual thing that can be changed so much.
Mm.
Did
Okay.
we want to put in a private room?
Like shielded and like
I
no
was thinking
comms.
someplace where Percival could not be if you need to take future calls.
That's it's very far thinking of you. I don't know. How does the a whole expansion bay though for that? I don't know. I'm willing to roll with the punches if you're all willing to close your ears a little bit.
Just a thought.
It's a good thought.
You could just hop in the tiny ship.
That's true.
Yeah. It's probably not in there.
What?
Our tiny little
Oh,
space
in the
pod.
little
Yeah,
pod.
yeah,
You got a little,
Yeah.
like puddle jumper.
Shuttle / my office. Sounds good.
Yep.
All right.
Your own private office. Moving on up.
Works for me. I think we can hold off maybe on going hog wild with overhauling this thing until we know what shape of fruit we're dealing with the Starfinder Society. Maybe, I don't know.
Speaking of the Starfinder Society, perhaps we should have a decal somewhere on the ship so we can be identified.
We do have permission here to apply as Starfinder iconography. That is something we can certainly do. Keep in mind, however, at least as I've learned, any stamps are recognizable.
Yeah.
Should you find yourself somewhere you don't want to be as Starfinders, keep it in mind. But if you want to wear it proudly, wear it proudly.
We could get jumpsuits and then we could just take them off. Like, like the ones that we found?
Sure.
But not from
But
prison.
not those.
Not
Yeah.
those ones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like that,
Department of
we could
Corrections.
have jackets. I could make us cool jackets like this. My friend taught me how.
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
And also much more subtle, I think, than
I-
maybe.
Yeah.
I
Alright,
do
so-
like the idea of being able to go to new places without getting in trouble.
Yeah, I think knowing that some of our business might not be society related and
Yeah.
might, maybe not the decal on the outside right now.
There.
I have a note that our engineering bay has a 2-person limit. Is that 2-person limit for the whole like power core, engineering, shields, and life support?
Yes.
Okay.
Shield, yes, it is. So that is
So that's that like cluster.
the tiny little thing you can
the
jam
whole
2
place
people
can
in
fit
there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something that really can't be changed. That's
No.
just part of the frame of the ship, essentially.
Yeah.
You could install like an engineering bay, which allows you to like manufacture equipment and fix vehicles and things, but that would be like replacing a cargo bay
Yeah.
with a whole other workshop kind of thing.
I can't drink apparently.
I do require some space somewhere on the ship for meditation.
We got the tiny ship.
No,
For 2-seater.
Chapel.
combat meditation.
I can take business calls as you're meditating. It'll be very challenging and perhaps.
We could make like a wellness bay.
No, not for so that I can interface with the ship to enhance its magical capabilities. during combat.
Oh, can you not do that now?
It's more appropriate to have a dedicated space.
Is the cargo
It-
bay
it-
like right by the drift engine?
It can be even in the upper power core or in the drift engine, just anywhere where I'm connected to a lot of power.
Do you want to share engineering with me? You probably can't fight around too much or you break something.
There's not a lot of movement involved. Wherever you can find an appropriate space, Konkito.
I can actually absolutely do something like that. Yes, if you want it in engineering, we can certainly give you a place to do more esoteric and eldritch events. That can
would
be done.
appreciated.
It's a familiar trend among the society.
Excellent.
So I can make it so.
Wonderful.
We're kind of like roommates now, but for working.
It's true. It's true. I look forward to working with you.
We should get a secret handshake.
We can figure it out later.
We'll,
Yeah,
we'll have to
we'll
figure
work
that
on
out
that.
later. You have way more hands than I do.
I know it makes it really
It
fun.
makes it really difficult.
I mean, in terms of our quarters right now, I know you kind of cobbled together a sufficient sleep space, but do you want that?
Oh yeah. So I got 2 beds just kind of sitting next to each other right now. You could either weld them together, very official, or maybe just replace it with a single like double wide, big boy bed.
That is something, of course, we can do. We have a great deal of salvage and scrap at our disposal, including what I imagine you're bringing with you.
Oh yeah.
I'm certain we could get something more to your liking. It would not be an issue.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Of course, not a problem. Anybody else have any changes to their rooms they would like to make?
Is there something you can put in there so I can have like a little pet? Somebody let my bug pet out, so I don't have a pet right now, but it would be kind of nice if I had like a little terrarium or something.
I think I can whip something up, and you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Do we want a brig?
I imagine you ask it that quietly.
Do you want a brig? I don't
Do
know.
we want a brig? We've got a lock.
I mean,
Or,
it's like,
Maku has a lock.
It's
I
true.
mean,
it's funny. You don't think you need a brig until you need a brig.
That's probably true.
If Maku's on board, if the friendliest person is
Oh,
on
no,
board
no.
with having prison,
But I didn't mean that we should lock people in it. I just meant that the statement was true.
Could you put a couple little cells in the weapons locker?
so we are just double.
Mechanically speaking, not so much.
No.
A brig is a whole expansion bay. You would lose a cargo bay,
okay.
put in a brig, because it comes with all the affiliated power rerouting and
Torture devices.
Sure.
Put him on the rack.
It's just
I can see it.
live stream state media, but yeah. So you need to remove a cargo bay. To put
Let's
it
just
in.
use the airlock. If someone's being shitty, we'll just out the door.
See ya. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe an
bad
actual
idea.
brig.
Works. People don't go do well without air.
Most people.
Medical
No.
opinion.
Just think, like, this is on the house right now, these repairs and the costs for this, so it's like just something to consider.
Yeah, and narratively speaking, it's all build points anyways.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cost you anything, even if it wasn't on the house. But that is a good point.
Right.
You do have all sorts of different options. If you want to do different expansion bays, you absolutely can. So a brig would be one. If you have leftover build points, you could actually upgrade your quarters. Because right now they're just common quarters, but you can actually give yourself like luxury quarters, given the build points that you have available to you. Or you could add in a brig or an engineering or a mortuary or a hydroponics bay or all sorts of different things.
Goodness.
There were things we wished we had when we were like drifting through the space jelly. Like what were some
you
of the
guys
things
weren't
that were
fans of
like,
the food.
Could
Oh,
upgrade the
well, I
galley,
mean-
yeah.
You
I think
absolutely
it's
could.
fine.
Can't you just put new stuff in the machines?
I mean, it might not be newer than what's in there, but
There's no actual kitchen on board right now though. It's just like
Just a
vending
cafeteria, yeah.
machines.
Yeah.
I am very for a kitchen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
That would be part of like upgrading the crew quarters essentially. So you
Okay.
would not only get a nicer sort of galley and kitchen, but you would have better chambers, including not a welded together bed, but an actual bed.
And also more privacy, I assume.
A door with a lock on it at the very least.
Folks, we're upgrading the quarters.
Can, mister,
Yes,
can you take the door of my room off, please?
as a special request. Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Okay, let me upgrade your guys' crew quarters to luxurious. Ooh. Okay, so that's done.
We were like talking about like a harp. What stuff?
Oh
Like,
yeah, we did say
Harp-
something
yeah,
about
harp-
her.
grappling
gun.
hook.
But that's a weapon, isn't it?
That would be a weapon, yeah, which is
Okay.
something that could be changed, absolutely. If you wanted a sort of grappling type weapon, they absolutely exist, like tethers, essentially.
That'd be kind of cool.
A tether would be pretty
Magnetic
cool.
grappler or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would that fit with the weapon configuration we have now?
Let me take a look at it. Linking.
4 slots, I think.
Yeah,
additional
I
for
had it noted
weapons.
that we had one gun in space for 4 more, but
Yeah.
You
Just a
do,
question
yes.
of build points.
Yeah. But now it's build points.
yeah, okay.
Let's see.
Just put one of you guys out there with a magnet and a rope in the airlock and just,
That's right.
just go space fishing.
Space truck.
Maybe we could turn you into a magnet.
Yeah, a light
Sounds
ship
unpleasant.
tether only costs 6 build points, so you could fit it on right now if you wanted to. which would give
That
you.
would've
It
been-
requires like melee. You can grab a hold of other whole ships if you want to do, or debris, asteroids, things like this.
That would have been handy.
That would have been handy.
The first thing we did in the spaceship that would have been very handy. Day one.
Although I will say, like drifting through a debris field was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can go wrong with that, eh? So
No.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
put it on the bill.
Yeah.
Okay, on the bill, light ship tether going on right now.
Big fan of those mining games where you shoot down and grab the gold nugget and pull back up.
Mm.
Big fan.
Space fishing.
Yeah.
It's time to go after space whales.
And the only issue with the
Space ticks.
thrusters was that they were the ignition thing, right? Like it wasn't that they weren't giving us much.
Yeah, this is this is
Yeah,
always
okay.
going to be a slow ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
right
way
now
around
it's as slow as it could be. So you could potentially make it faster, but right now it's going to be slow.
Mm.
Yeah. And you do have a budget to do so if you would like.
I mean, if we're going something, yeah.
Yeah.
What are we
I
thinking?
mean, might as well.
The brig has not been installed yet, right?
It has not.
Has not.
No, I can't see us needing an entire brig.
No.
Maybe 1 or 2 people. We can lock them in the shuttle.
Man, that thing.
It's multi-purpose.
Office, chapel,
multi-purpose
prison.
Oh my goodness.
We did just get a shipping container in the shuttle area. We'll just use that.
Slap the lock on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody gets
Yeah,
up
the
and you
lock.
just turn off
Yeah.
gravity and
If I'm going to pilot, I would appreciate if it moved a little faster as well.
I think that's wise.
Certainly. You
Or
could.
big
You have
driver.
enough budget to increase the speed by, I think, 2? Let me see.
Dang.
That's not
Oh,
nothing.
no, only by 1.
Oh,
That's fine.
Sorry.
Boo.
Sorry.
Curse you, Danning.
So break.
I would just like everybody to remember that I stole the lock so that it wouldn't lock in creatures. I don't want you to use it to lock in other people or creatures.
It's only for locking people who won't be your friend.
Everybody's my friend.
It's only to lock in people we'd have to kill otherwise.
It stops her from having to kill them.
And
true.
stops me from remembering to drug them.
And we may have to bring
The
people.
dress did look pretty fun.
Oh.
They are fun.
No, oh boy.
You have a single build point left, by the way. So you could put in a brig, perhaps, but not much more.
Party room. Party room. Party room.
Included in the
room,
luxury,
party
included
room.
already in the luxury accommodations.
I think that's also a break.
Nibel, I didn't have you figured for a party.
It's just Nivel standing in a room full of balloons not moving. It's the creepiest thing in the
Best
world.
party ever.
Five Nights at Freddy-esque.
Things that cost 1 build point you have left: a brig, conference room, escape pods, guest quarters, industry, a recreation
A
suite.
brig
Escape
does.
Let's wind back here.
pods.
Escape pod.
If you don't have an escape pod, Doc, what do you think is going to happen? You don't get to escape.
Well, I didn't realize that we did not have escape pods at this point.
Yeah, most ships
I
don't
haven't
have.
had to escape a ship yet.
Yeah,
We
most
only
ships
have
don't
one
have escape
escape pod.
pods.
Like me and you could probably fit in one.
Okay, I'm good then.
Okay.
I got this.
Carrying on, though, recreation suite, or a sealed environmental chamber.
For
We use the airlock sufficiently for that, I think.
Probably.
It's true.
Yeah, escape pods sound pretty good to me, not going to lie.
They sound like a good idea.
That sounds like a worthwhile
Every
investment.
ship I've ever been on has crashed.
Yeah.
This one has not
is a
yet.
holy
Let's keep
man,
it that
by the
way.
Technically, I did crash into all of the metal, but we got it because the doors were open.
It was intentional, though. Is it a crash if you tried
Well,
to
I
do it?
kind of crashed it a little.
This one hasn't crashed yet. Every other ship I've been on has crashed.
Let's just leave the yet out.
Are you cursed?
Yeah.
I hope not.
Did you do your magic on those other ships?
No,
Okay, then you really should do your magic on this
Okay.
ship, okay? Because,
I'll do that.
all right.
So, escape pods being added.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be added to the list of retrofitting. You are now out of build points.
Perfect.
All right.
You have swapped out your weapons, increased your crew quarters quite substantially from the minimal they were up to luxurious now, and almost doubled your speed from, well, slow to slower, but still, you're faster than you were. Anything else you can think of that you guys would like to do to your ship?
And we're painting it.
And you're painting it,
I
yeah.
just like the idea of Nivel's box going from luxurious, from like a pure white to an eggshell white.
softer lighting.
Like, very nice.
Addressable lights.
Yeah.
You
To put
we
some
should take
mounts
our
for your
belongings
weapons
off.
and stuff.
Yeah, she already had that though.
But now they're fancy. Shadow
Yeah,
boxes with
yeah,
light in them
right,
and stuff, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you can like backlight them.
We have a barrel of Formian honey to sell.
Is it sealed safely?
Yes.
Then it can remain on the ship and would be
Perfect.
okay if you
All right.
need it to be.
We
yes.
might take it with us in the market or something.
Yeah, I guess it's not a big deal for you to tote it around.
No, not at all. It's another Tuesday. No.
The bear wants to keep the honey.
No. I want to sell the honey. I'm a sales bear. All right.
I thought you were a war hero.
Conchita, I think that's everything. Yeah.
I think so.
We trust you're going to do a bang up job. Really excited to see what's going to happen.
Well, I have been in service here at Absalon Station for over 30 years. I assure you the work will be done to a standard that you come to expect from the Starfinder Society, including the paint job and custom spots and signature for yourself.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else to do for now, I will have to ask you to leave the landing area in order for us to get the ship properly prepared for work, which will include, of course, making it uninhabitable for most of you for some time. It should take us no more than 2 days to get this work done, perhaps sooner. For new recruits to the Starfinder Society, we tend to, put a little bit more extra elbow grease in for the first couple of jobs.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, we'll just grab our stuff and I think we'll be on our way.
All right.
Yep. Certainly. As soon as you get back into the ship to prepare your things, Percival appears at some point when you sort of cross the bridge. I see that we have docked near a shipyard. May I kindly ask what's being done to the ship, me?
We didn't ask for any changes to you.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
So if you lay low, you should be fine. We'll probably be gone for about 2 days.
Hope you know how to swim, Percival.
Well, it's a good joke. I did, I think. At one point, I might have known how to swim, but I don't need to anymore.
You should probably learn because they're gonna fill it up with water.
I'll make sure I close all the necessary vents that I need to.
One quick thing.
Yes.
You said that when we came to Absalom Station, there were messages waiting for you from you.
Yes, it would appear that way.
The physical you.
No. It would seem that, Percival, a well-known ship AI, it would seem, had messages for me, but it was spoken in my own vernacular, my own tongue, as if I was sending a message to myself, if that makes any sense. I'm still trying to piece it all together, but I'm fairly certain that I might be on all sorts of ships at the same time without knowing it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably have more questions for you
We'll definitely
later.
have more questions for you later.
Well, I'll have 2 days inside a fishbowl to think, I suppose.
Yeah, you've got an interesting history, pal, from what I understand.
I'm trying to learn it just as much as you are, I think.
All right, well, we'll take some time then.
Okay, well, excellent then. I suppose I'll see you in 2 days.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Later,
Take
pal.
it easy, Percival.
Blinks out of existence. Gathering the rest of your belongings, whatever it may be, including the Formian honey, I'm gathering.
Yep.
You sort of batten down whatever hatches you think you need, hope that you didn't forget a stack of paper somewhere that'll turn all soggy and garbage in the intervening days, and make your way out of Conquito's Bowl into Absalon Station proper with all of your equipment and some Formian honey. As soon as you sort of leave the main lobby of the shipyard, you start to hear the whooshing of water, and you can see through a viewport that the entirety of the Gant, which was sort of free floating in space, has been sealed inside what is now essentially a giant fish tank, which is slowly filling up with water, eventually going to completely submerge the ship and saturate it entirely. You can see that there are crews of several other Ikitris and Kalos who are all in their natural environment right now, waddling around in waist-deep water, waiting to sort of be able to float up to a point that they can start to work on the ship. You can already see the large industrial painting machines being brought out to start the process of painting it a not gaudy purple, as well as the weapons that you have in your cargo hold are already being offloaded and sort of unceremoniously chucked into the water that's starting to fill up. It's not a process you're familiar with, but hopefully it looks like they know what they're doing. And judging by the fact that they've been in business for 30 years and have an agreement with the Starfinder Society, your ship will not be worse than it was when it went in, at the very least. Now in Absalon Station proper, Formian honey in hand, what would you like to do in the intervening couple of days, or maybe one day, that you have?
I believe we were going to visit Diamond, were we not?
We were, and with that,
Yes.
how much ammo do we have for that missile?
So
launcher?
so the missile launcher, the way it works is you have infinite ammo.
Okay,
Broadly speaking, you can only use 5 of it
Five.
per encounter.
gotcha.
I will probably, almost guaranteed, implement an ad hoc rule where you can like reload it over a course of rounds if you need to, because only 5 ammo is kind of bull in my opinion. But yeah, you have infinite ammo
Okay, perfect.
for all your guns always.
Awesome.
Easy peasy.
Was Diamond your relative?
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 47th cousin, I think it was.
Yep.
Thrice removed.
Something like that.
Well, I know we can have quarters at the Starfinder Society overnight. Do we want to go get some rooms, leave our gear, and then head
Go
off?
explore.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I gotta go on a sales tour. I got at least 2 things to sell. Right. I got honey to sell. I got coordinates to sell.
Right. Yeah.
I will happily share those credits in kind. We're all kind of at the bottom of the barrel. Just know that I made them.
Okay. I'll come with you because I got the coordinates on my tablet.
Yes. Okay. Me and Maku. Anybody else want to come on a sales tour?
Oh, I'm all for exploring.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, what do you all want to do that isn't commerce based?
How good is you're good at selling? Can you buy?
No.
Oh, interesting.
I
Interesting.
can buy.
Oh,
Maku can buy.
Yeah,
Maku
Maku can
will
buy.
buy.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Do you want some tasty treats?
Oh no. Well, at some point we're gonna swing by a defense and surplus store.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Does
If he's
anyone
selling.
need muscle?
Okay,
I mean,
I'll wait here.
it's always good to have muscle. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody
If
would
we're selling
Yeah.
pirate coordinates, we might want to bring some muscle.
That
with
is
us.
true. Yeah, I was just thinking of going to like a salvager's bar. Or
I
like
thought we were selling the coordinates to the fuel.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I thought we were selling coordinates to the
Oh,
the
well, we
weird
got
pirate
two,
spot. We got 2
3
sets
things.
of coordinates.
Holy cannoli, guys.
I don't know. Should we sell the coordinates to the pirate place?
They want us dead.
Well, just the one crew that everybody was mean to once is dead.
Honestly, I'm not even sure how, rare those coordinates are. They might be, maybe a known quantity, at least among like merc circles or something like that, So I mean, we can try,
Okay.
We can try.
but I think we would want to lead with the massive fuel.
Yeah, the fuel's the
fuel.
big one.
Might be
Yeah.
someone nearby who might even want those
That's
near
true.
the shipyard.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, look for scavvers.
If you would like to, yeah. So you could give me a, what do I want to call it? Just give me an investigation check. Somebody who's looking for places to sell things, and I can kind of give you a rundown, including the places that Percival has mentioned already: the Grooves, Bobs and Bobs, or Odds and Bobs.
What's investigation?
Yeah, there is no
Oh
investigation.
It's perception. I think it's just
Perception?
perception.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, perception.
All right, I gotcha. 18.
Nice.
There you go. So you definitely know that the best place to sell most anything would be in the free market, which is basically on the opposite side of Epsilon Station, but you can get there pretty quickly. That's where Groove's Bottomless Bobs and Odds is, as well as Diamond Defense, which is a place where Doc has some friends. There's also the Mist Mind, which is a well-known, we'll call it a consignment shop. Basically anything that can be sold or bought can probably be found there, including things like coordinates, perhaps. You also do know that the Starfinder Society themselves do occasionally purchase coordinates to places, but they sort of give you have to accept the discount that they give, being members, if that makes sense. So if you wanted to maybe garner a little bit more reputation above already being cognifiers inside the society, you could sell it directly to them, or try to go find a more private connection.
Did we have a sample of that fuel?
I do not believe so.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
took
we did.
we
Yeah,
took a
we
bucket.
took it.
Yeah.
There's a bucket.
Fucking rocket fuel.
Bucket of gel rocket fuel.
So,
Somebody smokes, right?
which I imagine you would have taken off the ship with you. So sure, you have some Formian honey and a bucket of jet fuel.
It's like a
Don't
mop
get them
bucket or
mixed up.
something.
A
Yeah.
canister.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like a bucket.
It was,
Alright.
it was
No,
a
it was
bucket.
a-
It was
bucket.
a specifically
Oh,
a
it was
bucket.
literally a
We went and got a
bucket.
bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's too funny to not retcon.
Sure.
I'd honestly like to take this honey down to the culinary sector, as it were.
Might get a better price for it
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can find
Find
somebody.
the hipsters.
Yeah, this is
We
extinct.
got this
honey.
honey before the planet exploded.
Exactly. That's the biggest selling point. It's rarity. Maybe a
It-
pastry shop.
It's true. So in
was
that
gonna
case,
say
it would be Gentmenbe Park is a sort of It's as hipstery as it gets. It's one of the few green places in all of Absalon Station, and it's also where a great deal of sort of luxury restaurants are. It's in the Eye, which is the more affluent area, and certainly I imagine there's lots of like in-season restaurants that Extinct Formian honey might command a good price.
Yeah.
So let me look up a place that's there. So where to first?
Let's get rid of this jet fuel bucket first. I mean, it could spill.
Yeah.
I'm sure it also smells.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
Is there like a chop shop nearby where we could say, hey, do you know anybody who wants some of this?
Oh, you could sort of spin around and go back to Conquitas and ask them if you would like. And in fact, speaking to one of the sort of dock workers at Conquitas Bowl, which is just behind you, they'd be willing to buy it from you right now. Now, it's only a small bucket full of jet fuel. It's probably been pretty heavily contaminated, partially evaporated, being that it's in a bucket, not a pressurized container. So at the very least, they'll give you 250 credits for the single bucket of jet
We
fuel.
want to keep a small sample
Selling
because we're selling the coordinates
to more.
as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
and possibly death.
Probably have vials.
Sure, you can
Yeah.
Take a
You
little.
just keep a couple
sitting,
vials.
sitting in a hallway scooping
a couple
vials
of
of
them.
jet fuel.
Yeah.
Not a
Cork 'em
problem.
up.
Not a problem at all. Then in that case, someone could give me some sort of social check to see if they could maybe get a better bargain out of Conquitas, or if they might have a suggestion of someone else you could sell it to for maybe a better price. Although they're depending on your role might try to haggle you. Who's our resident seller right now?
That wouldn't be.
Just realized I have the merchant savvy
Uh,
skill.
What's merchant savvy?
I know how to find cargo, and I can re-roll like one of 4 checks 3 times per day.
Oh, nice. So that's for like finding cargo to transport from planet to
I
planet.
have
and
no skills in any of them though.
So you're looking for like charisma, charisma based.
yeah,
skill?
either diplomacy,
Diplomacy
or
or-
persuasion or intimidate.
It's
Oh.
diplomacy or buff, I think. For
Yeah.
this one.
Persuade. Oh, bluff.
If you wanna be like,
I have +5.
this price is
Yeah.
ridiculous. We're gonna.
I might as well try
Yeah, go
diplomacy.
for it. Your
Might as well try. What's the worst can happen?
We'll see.
Roll initiative.
Oh, it's an 8.
So you definitely get the impression, you're speaking to this dock worker, that you're not going to find any better price than what we're going to give you right now. You're talking about damaged goods.
We want the coordinates to sell the coordinates.
Someone's probably found it by now. It was on the way to get here. At the best you're going to get, we can give you 750 credits for the coordinates. That's it. That's all you're going to get.
You were gonna give us 250 for this bucket and
Single buck.
750 for the.
We have a lot of work to do. We got to go get it ourselves, and we have a profit to turn ourselves.
We'll take our chances elsewhere.
yeah,
thank
no,
you.
no
Yeah.
deal. Sorry, pal.
Yeah, not a problem at all, of course. And you head off on your way, trying to find a new place to sell this rocket fuel. For ease of use, give me a new social check, please, of some kind. Spending the better part of like the morning / afternoon trying to
That's a
hopefully
17.
17, so that's a little bit better. You do manage to find someone near the free markets who is a sort of a salvaging company who will pay you 1,500 credits for the coordinates, which is not much better, but better.
I mean, it's double.
It's double, and that's the best you're going to get, I can almost certainly tell you.
All right, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like we're going back for
No,
it.
we're not.
Well, we could just copy it. We will still have.
Yeah.
Well,
It's true.
transfer it over though, Maku, if you don't mind. Just
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, so with a thank you and a much to do, coordinates to the spider-infested jet fuel have been passed over. 1,500 credits added to your sort of collective roster that you can spend however you would like, and that
Did
is
we warn them that there was ticks in it?
Sure, we
No.
did.
nope.
Not for the price we got for that.
Not for that price.
No, we did the first time and then learned our lesson and did it the second time.
Okay.
It's true.
Salvage crew goes missing.
Rescue crew.
A rescue.
Also good.
Yeah, and you get hired on for 3,000 credits to go rescue them.
There we go.
Woo, we get the jet fuel back.
Listen, we've been in once. We can do it again.
Are we in a new kind of market space?
Yeah, you've been spending a little bit of time sort of just traveling around. We're glossing over
wandering.
esque. Yeah. Sort of just finding different places to sell things before you go visit Diamonds, perhaps.
Okay, but I'm like, if we wanted to go get something to eat, it would be in a new place, not the. I don't know the layout of Absalom Station? I know we moved our ship.
Yeah, sure. I can actually show you guys the map. Here we go. I'll just do this. Boop. Okay, dokie. So, Puddles was right over yonder. Nobody on stream can see this. Sorry. Fardock was here is where you started. So you literally just parked over yonder.
Oh, okay.
And
so,
now you're somewheres up here near Free Markets.
Oh, okay.
Keeping in mind that this Absalom Station is not very big.
Oh, I see.
So it doesn't take very
so
long.
probably will be the same little spot. Okay.
Cool. Maku, I'm going to try to pass this off to a reasonably fancy restaurant or bakery or pastry shop. Yeah.
Can I come?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so I'm going to Jetembe Park.
Yeah.
Looking around, you definitely see here, and this one I'm actually going to describe. It's a very almost rainforest-esque type area as soon as you sort of walk through the threshold that separates the park from the rest of Absalom Station. You can't really tell if it's live animals somewhere in the distance or sounds being played ambiently through a speaker, but it sounds like there's a healthy amount of wildlife inside this part of the station. And you definitely catch glimpses of things flying around, so maybe it's a combination of both. But making your way into the sort of central area of it, the tourist hub as it were, you see several different restaurants, all of which have small either waiting lines out the front or are clearly reservation only. This is definitely the hipster-esque type place. You do sort of immediately see that there is a sweets store, essentially, that makes like the finest of baked breads, the kind of place that honey might be bought at, as well as a sort of a brewery that maybe they could make like a honeyed ale out of some kind. But either one might be a place to sell some stuff.
Sure. I'm going to try the brewery first.
Certainly. So I'm actually going to pull a familiar place for some of you. This place is known as the Brazen Bulls. It's a place that I very much enjoy, and I could not have in Starfinder. So approaching the Brazen Bulls Brewery, it has on its face an embossed Minotaur's head, or a Noir's head in Starfinder terms. And you're greeted at the door by a very diminutive-looking human who's probably only like 5'2". He is very happy to greet you. He's wearing a fine-fitting suit with a nice little red tie, who has a little clipboard in his hand. And as soon as you approach, carrying the Formian honey under your arm, the both of you, no riffraff is allowed in Brazen Bulls. Sorry.
We're not here as customers. We're here as business partners, maybe, in a one-time transaction.
One business partners, then I'll have to get one of the brewers to come speak to you.
Yeah, I got an exotic ingredient.
I don't want you hanging around the front of the store if I can help it.
All right, we'll go out back where people take their smoke breaks.
That is a fantastic idea. Then if you go down this way through that alley, and do it quickly,
Yeah,
please.
you got it. Big wink.
The two of you sort of shudder around. Waiting out and back, as soon as you're around the corner, you definitely see the staff having smoke breaks. You're 100% right. You're familiar with this sort of thing, and you're greeted by a pair of Noirs, which are Minotaurs for all intents and purposes. They're about the same size as you, and they're both pretty distinctly different. One is sort of like a shaggy, almost yak-like complexion or yak-like fur. The other is their traditional Holstein cow spots. And both of them are indeed sort of smoking what is essentially a vape pen. And they're vaping cows. And they're in the process of having like a smoke ring off. Given their ginormous nostrils, they're making all sorts of crazy and intricate things. And they see you approach with the Formian honey, and one of them looks at you and sort of snorts out a couple of rings in your direction. So you're bringing something good for us.
Yeah. Who makes the flavors around here?
Well, we all sort of all do.
Sure.
It's a running competition.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got this is Formian honey from Cerebos. Don't know if you've heard of the place, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I don't believe a word you just said, because we do have a small stockpile of it still around. It's one of my specialties. Sturma's my name.
Well, shit.
Extends a hand out.
Thurgood Vale. Pleasure to meet you, Sturma.
Very firm handshake.
We just came in from the edges of the vast. We were aboard a ship called the Myoposis. Doesn't exist anymore either. Cerebos was attacked, blew up. Now you might have backlog from then, but doesn't exist anymore. This is the last barrel of Formian honey to leave the planet.
So should I be buying it from you then? This place might not exist, judging by what I'm gathering from you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, we are more than happy to turn this over. We don't need its kind of dead weight. We'll be happy to give you the last. And you might want to like age it, keep it around, make sure it's vintage.
You don't know much about food, do you? Honey doesn't age.
I grew up on paste, nutritional paste. I am also from the Vast. Anyway,
Crack it open, let me have a taste.
all right, sure.
Can I have a taste too?
This is soon to be your product. May the Skitter.
That's not mine yet, so absolutely.
All right, Maku. Yes, you may have one taste.
And I set to opening it
You
up.
sort of like unseal it, and immediately you're hit by the waft of just this delicious honey smell. And Sturma sticks his enormous pinky finger into it, takes sort of a dab off of it. You can go
Is
ahead.
there like a tap, or is it just the top?
No, right
off?
now it's just a container.
Top and barrel
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, it's a keg that's been opened.
I'm just gonna look.
It doesn't stop you.
Stick my whole hand in there.
So it is absolutely delicious, and as soon as he sort of licks it off his pinky, you can see the elation set in. This moment of zen before he turns to his Holstein-colored companion. I'm gonna win this year. Oh, this is the best. I don't care. I don't believe you that it's rare,
Sure.
but I'll still buy it from you. You got enough here for 500 credits worth.
Vintage, man. I don't know what to tell you.
We could keep it because this is really delicious.
Maku's a huge fan.
Is it
Sure
just
you
the
can.
two of them that are there? By
I
themselves?
believe so. It's just the two.
I don't know if I ended up going with you guys or not.
It's up to you.
I mean, you can stroll around the corner if you want to.
Because if I heard this conversation, Nigel would immediately be like, sell it to the other guy then.
Well, damn. I might just take my business 10 feet to the left.
The yak like one turns to his coworker, his compatriot. You want to buy it? The other one takes a big, huge drag on his vape pen, blows it directly into the face of the other Noir. I don't cook with that shit. If you're gonna buy it from someone, it's gonna be me. 500 credits, the best I can do. Or you can eat it yourself. It'll take you a year.
Oh, I don't think it would take me a whole year.
This young Skittermander will die if you do not end. All right. 750.
Give me some sort of social check, please.
Sure thing.
Pick which one you want to do.
Thurgood's not actually charismatic.
The sales bear who has no charisma.
That's kind of his whole thing. All right, I think it's just a straight roll.
He does sell mostly dog shit stuff, so
4.
500 credits. And if you don't take it, I blackball you from most restaurants around here.
All right, I sort of tamp the lid back onto it.
Can you throw in whatever you cook with this? Just one?
One stein of ale, most certainly.
Oh, it's not food?
We're a brewery.
Oh, I'll try it anyway.
All right, yeah. One stein for the Skittermander, 500 credits.
Stamped in. A cred stick passes. A sort of almost like a tumbler of ale is passed on your way, so it doesn't spill too much of honeyed ale. And Formian honey is successfully sold. Vintage, not that important, it would seem.
You'll learn one day.
When I run out, I'll just jack the price 10,000%. Don't worry. When I'm getting near the bottom and no more comes.
All right.
There's a reason why we're in business, and you just sold it for 500. Thank you.
Oh, snap.
As I go around the corner, what is the siding of this building made of?
This is an opulent, like mostly star metal.
Is there like an intervening alley where I would be out of their line of sight, but also not on the main thoroughfare?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to drag my claws.
Down the siding.
Certainly. At the most, you're like taking off the plating on the side
That's
of
all
it.
I wanted.
Enough to leave your mark.
Being petty.
Certainly. The three of you making your way back out with your stein of honeyed ale. Where do you three want to go? And in the interim, what have you three been doing?
I've just been hanging out in the general
Just
area,
hanging
so
out.
probably
Okay.
meeting with them.
So eventually you all sort of gather together with a few more credits in your pocket. Where to?
Before we go into it, has anybody had ale before?
Absolutely.
Is
this
it
could
delicious?
be fun.
It kind of smells like that fuel that we just got rid of,
Yep. It's
but like sweet, like sweet
Mako,
fuel.
have you ever had a brewed drink, something that contains alcohol?
I don't think so.
This could be fun.
I hope so. Mako, how old are you?
I am fairly. I'm like 30.
Oh.
Put it back. Put it back. Just
Yeah,
Go
just knock
for
it
it.
back. Then I can't.
You're
believe-
good.
Yeah,
I'm
you'll
good?
be fine. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
What? Why don't we wait until we're back on the ship?
Oh, but we could
Or-
be,
Okay.
could be around for
Maku's
hours.
already drinking it.
Nothing worse than a warm, flat mug of ale. Just have
It
it-
makes my face feel funny.
Yeah. It's just that's carbonation. It's talk to me again in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just gonna drink it.
Okay, great.
It's a decent sized tumbler, and we'll see if you have any effects later on when we need to. So, a few more credits in tow.
Off to diamonds.
yeah, might as well.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see the fam.
Certainly. So, navigating your way towards the free market area, or back into it, I suppose, because you've already been there, you make your way towards Diamond Defense and Surplus. And as you're approaching down the street, you notice a couple of people have passed you by in a somewhat hurried pace, sort of looking over their shoulder even. As you round the corner, you can see the street is unerringly empty. There's several other shops that line the street and sort of the back of several other stores. But you can see Diamond Defense and Surplus with a blinking neon sign above it, the clear as day open light in the window, and standing leaning up against the door, sort of arms crossed in a very relaxed posture, there's a fairly well-armed Noir, another Minotaur actually, is leaning up against the door right now, just sort of keeping a watchful eye in all directions. As you approach the store, as you move towards the door, this Noir sort of steps out and puts his hand out in your general direction. We're closed for renovations right now. You'll have to come back another day.
Here on family business.
Family or no family, it's closed. The perceptive among you hear a crash from inside the store a moment later. Run-of-the-mill renovations. Nothing to be concerned about.
Maybe I can help.
We have all the help we need. Small shop. Plenty of contractors in there.
It does not sound like they're doing a very good job.
Yeah, sword in hand, a pointed look, and I'm moving so I can see through the door or the window in.
Certainly. Give me a perception check, please.
Oh boy.
There's some stuff you're going to see for sure, but how much more?
16.
16. So sort of poking your head around this Noir who's trying to block all of you at once, so therefore really can't block your view. You look inside and you can see that there is a hole that's been punched through a wall, as if a weapons rack has been torn down. There's things scattered all over the ground. You get enough of a glimpse of a very small white-furred Yusoki who's in the middle, or currently cowering, being talked down to by a very large red-scaled Vesk. Through the hole in the wall that you can see there's a crate with another Vesk on it. And as soon as you look through, it begins to go down what you're now learning to be a freight elevator. It's heading down somewhere beneath the ground. As soon as that's really all you see for now, as the Noir sort of steps in front of you. Kindly. No family business. Renovations are occurring. It's time for you all to leave.
I'm going to try to step through him. I'm going to try to forcefully move him.
Certainly.
Oh boy. Hey, Nival, what's going on?
As soon as you go stepping through, I actually need you to give me an athletics check, please.
Yep.
Shit.
Opposed.
We're not wearing our armor and stuff right now, correct? I don't
you
think
have
so.
It all, you have it all with you.
Yeah, but it's not on.
I'm not wearing mine. Yeah.
Mine's in my drone.
Business mode.
It's just a straight athletics check?
Yes, please.
17.
17. So you easily enough, he tries his best to stop you, but you sort of duck under, put a pointy shoulder elbow up into his undercarriage, and easily enough move past him and step into the store proper.
I'm saying over my shoulder, kind of ignoring him trying to stop me to Thurgood. He's lying.
Oh boy.
I'm actually going to get the map because we might need it.
Yeehaw, we're gonna have to-
No, maybe.
Hide the goodies!
Did you share at all what was going on in there?
No, I just
I didn't think
pointedly
so.
started walking. No.
Yeah. Look at that.
Convenient.
Oh,
Right.
you.
Oh, here, do you want
Yes, we need-
these? This
yeah.
will probably be heavier.
Wait, look at that.
All that. You guys put your guys' minis out here.
They're
Oh,
all
boy.
over there. Sorry,
We're gonna try
you
to get a
did
camera
just
on
say he's lying, though, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
over.
Okay.
Do you have your droid with you?
My
It's
drone is
over there.
No, I mean like your character.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Always.
He's usually
Always.
always with me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we took everything with us off the ship.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep, fair enough.
I left my lock on the ship though, because I figured it was
goody.
waterproof.
My map, and also
Not
see if
have
I
my
can move the camera down. So hopefully the
Have
stream
my
can
wet.
get
Well,
a
I do have my.
decent look here. We need to shift it a direction, I think, that way. Now it's super blurry.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to do theater of the mind a bit better for this one until we get our camera situation sorted out
Sorry.
in the future. So as you stepped in to the store proper, you see a few things clear as day. First, the Vesk that is on top of that pile of rules right now has disappeared down on a freight elevator with a crate in tow. You can see the Yosoki being lorded over by the other large Vesk, and there is a human who was mostly out of sight as you stepped in, who has a pretty large laser rifle in their hand, who as soon as you step through the door, not raises it directly at you, but clearly readies themselves to potentially be down for a fight. As you're stepping in, you hear the very large Vesk who's standing down over the Yosoki. Tell me where you sent it, you little rodent, or I'll break your fucking arms. And then there's Claudia, someone's here. It's the human at the back who's drawn the attention of the Vesk to you, who sort of spins around, looks you dead in the eyes. Fuck do you want?
Why are you here?
That's none of your goddamn business.
It's not. And he just keeps walking towards Diamonds.
I'm gonna pipe up and say it is part of my business. That's my cousin.
Your cousin. Get that one. The Noir who's at the door reaches down to grab you by
I try to intervene.
Yeah, me too.
and right then we're gonna right to it. Already jump into it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Unarmored. Here we go.
Yep.
I will say, of all who are on display, only the human in the corner with the weaponry appears to be ready to fight. Okay.
I know that feeling.
Oh my, I'm rolling real bad too, everybody.
You probably beat me, Sir Good. We'll see.
Alrighty, initiatives, please. Rue.
13 and sorry, I'm just trying to
No problem.
here. 17.
Thank you. See if you do.
4.
Maku.
19. I'm glad we're not rolling the same today.
They're good.
7.
Oh my goodness.
17.
17. There you go. And Nivel.
8.
8. Alrighty. So, as the Noir at the door goes to try to grab Doc by the shoulders, maybe trying to literally squeeze family, you realize pretty quickly that things are about to go wrong, and the first person to actually react is Maku. You're the first in initiative, even though this guy is about to try to grab Doc.
I'm grappling him. I'm gonna run and try to protect my little furry friend here. And try to grapple him.
Certainly. So as he's going to reach down for Doc, you just come lunging through the air and try to grab him by the face, essentially, or the horns, or whatever you want to do. It'll depend on your rolls. I have faith.
Is 23?
That'll absolutely hit.
Yes.
Oh, no, I broke it. There we go. 23. Yeah, that absolutely hits. So you have essentially grabbed a hold of him. He is functionally grappled, or he is grappled, which means his speed drops to 0. People get bonuses to hit him. If our condition master over there can look up the actual grappled condition, that would be great. And I also let you know the way grappling rules work. You have beat his KAC by plenty enough to actually pin him to the ground if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. To the ground. And I'm like,
it's like 400 times your size.
All those arms.
Yeah,
it's all those arms, and just grab the one horn and yanked.
Okay. Do we want to have me rattle all that off?
Yeah, pinned, please.
Yes. Well, okay. So pinned, you cannot move at all. You are flat-footed as well as grappled, but everything that would ordinarily be a -2 when you're grappled is a -4.
Whew.
So that is -4 to AC, attack rolls, reflex saves, and all dex-based checks. They cannot make attacks of opportunity, cannot move or take two-handed actions.
Nice.
Wow.
So as they're going down to grab Doc by the shoulders, this thing is like towering over you as it runs down, and just out of nowhere, out of your periphery, Maku grabs him by the face, hand in one nostril, other hand under the lip, other hand on the horn, other hand on the nose ring and just wrenches his head, and the whole thing comes tumbling down as you just slam his head to the ground, pretty successfully pinning him.
Don't you threaten my friend.
Bringing us to tied at 17, Doc and Rue.
I'll let you go first. Probably makes sense.
Sure. I'm going to jab him with a boost inhibitor.
So he's pinned to the ground. And
Yep, just straight in the nose.
and please go ahead and give me an attack roll. He is taking a -4 to AC because he's pinned.
Oh God. 8.
An 8. With the -4, thanks to Maku's face pin, you've successfully managed to find a flesh spot
Awesome.
and go ahead and give him an inhibitor.
Yeah, I'm hitting him with a -2 to AC as well.
Oh my goodness.
Right in his gooey little nose.
-6 AC at the moment. My goodness, this poor guy's having a bad day.
Well,
So as he sort of is grunting and groaning and trying to fight off the tiny furry creature on his face, you just sort of find a spot with the syringe, drive it into him, and immediately you can see he sort of slows down a little bit. Successfully inhibited. I hate that word. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Just gonna weakly kick him in the nose.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Bringing us to Root.
Is he's down?
He is
Can I
currently
move through his
prone.
space when
You
he's down?
absolutely can, yes.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I'm gonna move up beside Nival. Andrea, if you don't mind.
This side or that side?
That side. And I'm gonna use my quick draw. My azimuth, semi-automatic pistol. Sorry,
'Kay.
is in my quick release sheath. So
'Kay.
I'll pull that
Mhm.
as a swift action.
Yep.
And then I've got an action left.
Yes.
Still. Okay. Cool. So I will fire. Or well, no, I'm not going to fire. I will ready that action.
Certainly.
So that if we are fired on, I will fire at the individual who has.
Certainly, yeah. So as you sort of go like hopping and striding over the now pinned and inhibited Noir, you sort of snap your pistol into your hand and sort of just level it generally at the room in an attempt to maybe diffuse the situation or at the very least react to if things go horribly wrong. Anything else in your turn?
No, that's it.
Okay, it is now the Noir's turn, and the first thing they're going to try to do is try to bust out of the grapple, the pin that you have. Meaning, opposed athletics checks, please.
oh God.
Oh, God is right.
2.
What's your total score? Because it matters.
2.
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Maku's not strong.
So in
Yeah,
that
but
case,
-1.
in that case, as you're trying your best to keep this thing pinned, it begins to thrash in place.
I do have a rank in it, so it actually is 3.
Still not. So, as you're trying your best to hold this fella in place, he sort of essentially just gets up with you on his face. He's no longer pinned as he sort of just rises up, but it is his entire turn to do so.
Is he still grappled?
He is still grappled.
Okay.
As he stands up with you hanging on the side of his face. He only takes a -2, -4 now because of your inhibitor to his AC. But he rises up and begins to thrash a little bit. Get this fucking thing off my
I've got 6 hands.
As you're like fish hooking him in 3 different directions and has a finger on his eyelid and all kinds of misery. He's not very happy. Bringing us to the Vesk, who's lording over poor Diamond. As all this is occurring and things are beginning to kick off, the first thing that she does is hit a comm, a little walkie-talkie on her person. Crooks, release the cargo. We gotta deal with this. And then she spins around, pistol drawn, and levels it at Rue. But you may take your delayed action and fire a shot at her.
$19 to hit?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Fantastic. And it's a D6 plus 1. Ooh, 7 damage. It's the most it could do, so.
That's pretty fantastic. So as they level their laser pistol in your direction, before they get a chance to spin it up and fire, there's a splitting crack of gunpowder as you fire your pistol directly at her, and it hits right into the shoulder, and immediately you watch as it probably sends their aim a little bit off as they take a fire at you. against your EAC, getting a 16.
It hits.
Dealing 5 points of energy damage or fire damage as you feel the sort of scalding heat of it hitting your exterior armor, but it's still enough to cause a little bit of damage. And that'll be entirely it for their turn, bringing us all the way down to... Done. They're good. Nope, Nibel. Sorry. Nibel.
Trying to figure out how something works that I haven't used yet.
Oh boy.
I love that. I'm gonna try to sunder her gun.
Oh,
Yes.
good as me. So it's an attack roll.
Yep.
First and foremost.
But it's based off of my weapon attack.
Yes.
Okay, that was the thing I was trying to figure out. Oh, gee.
And you're trying to hit their
22,
KAC plus 8, which you absolutely do.
and then it'd be my just normal damage.
Yes, please.
Nice. 11 damage.
11.
The gun. Ooh.
Yeah. So as you swing your sword down directly into their laser rifle, they try their best to sort of reactively move it away. You manage to clip it pretty solidly and bend a lot of the exterior furniture of it. Not enough to cut it in half, but certainly enough to damage it to the point that it will actually take some penalties as far as using it goes. You get the impression that another solid swing might actually do the trick, if you're lucky. Anything else to do in your turn?
Yeah, she would just say, I would advise not fighting us. That's it.
In response, the human directly in front of you, alright, who also scored an 8, will sort of look at you, sort of almost spit in your face in anger, raise the rifle directly at you, and take a shot, provoking an attack of opportunity.
Can I sunder as an attack of opportunity?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to try to sunder again then. Like, swing up.
Oh, it's so cool.
That is cool.
It is really cool.
a
That
knife
would
to the
be
gunfight.
21.
A 21 will absolutely hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Amazing.
Oh my god, that's 13 damage.
So, as you come rushing in, swing the sword down, nearly breaking the weapon, they rise it up, and you do exactly that, a counter swing. And just as she's pulling the trigger, you hear it spinning up to fire, it cuts cleanly in half, explodes in her hands, in her face, probably causing some minimal actual damage, but enough to send her casting backwards against the wall.
I said you do not want to fight us.
You can see she's immediately reaching for a knife, which she doesn't have actions to draw. And that's it for their turn. Poor thing. Bringing us to Thurgood.
What are these called? Noirs?
Noirs.
Noirs. Is it armed?
Yeah, he has... no, sorry. He's just using his muscle, essentially.
He's there. He's currently grappled.
Yep.
But he's not pinned.
It seemingly was only the human who no longer has a gun, as well as the Vesk who had a laser pistol.
Okay. My line of sight isn't super great. I can't really see what's going on.
You can hear a commotion, absolutely, but you can't see much. No.
And he's like occupying this space, so I couldn't move.
Yes.
Him. All right, I'm gonna try to trip him then. I just want to fold him over my knee, and get him on the ground so he's out of the way. So that
I appreciate that.
is.
It's good being small. I can just run under people.
Yeah, I just have to. It's an attack roll against KAC.
Yep.
Please be 20.
A 20 with his penalties because of the inhibitor and being grappled. You are doing a maneuver, so it's KAC plus 8, but you still absolutely hit it.
Yep.
So you can go ahead and just trip him right onto his noggin.
All right, bonk.
So he's once again prone. He's just having a bad day, being double teamed by the two diminutive ones
Yeah.
as you just grab a hold of his leg, essentially, just
Yep.
flip him onto his head, knocking him prone.
All right, so that was my action.
Yep.
And my gun is not so far away enough that I can still swift action draw it, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then I pull out my plasma array.
Your big old beam laser.
Yeah. And jeez, I'm gonna take harrying fire if I can against the human who's in front of Nibel.
You already taken your action
I've already taken my action. You're right.
for the turn.
Then I'm just drawing it,
Getting ready.
Getting
You're
ready.
getting it situated.
getting situated. Since he's prone, can I move into the doorway, or is it still too much of a
No, I would
cluster?
say you can. Yeah.
Okay, so can
Yeah,
I get
I would call him
adjacent to
him
Rue?
him and all your allies would be difficult terrain.
Right. So I have 40 feet of movement.
Plenty.
Plenty, so I can get in. Maybe put me next to Rue if somebody can. And
Like
Big-
this side?
Big giant bear.
sure. Yeah. All right. Drawn. But that's it.
Okay, big laser in tow. You step on in. Anything else out of you? No. Bringing us to CP2.
All right. Let's get into the action here. Time to seize my solar mote in my hand.
So the little planetoid
Thing.
appears,
Yeah.
casting a nice
Well,
warm
It
glow.
was already there. I just snatched it out of thin air. Can I get in the door? I think everybody's.
Yeah, you can move. You can move through
Okay.
at difficult terrain. Is what we're doing here. So
Alright.
you absolutely can if you have enough movement to get in.
How far in can I get? I
You
can't
have-
see. I
5,
have 25 feet of movement.
and so that would be no, unfortunately, not with a single move.
All right.
You could use your action to move twice and get into the chamber if you would like.
I will do that.
Okay,
I'll get like right on the opposite side of that table thing, I guess, from Nival.
Like here-ish?
Yeah, right there, exactly.
perfect. You got plenty of move to do that. So as you sort of hop over, Doc, jump over, then Noir, squeeze past Nival, hop over the table. That's why you're so slow.
Yeah.
You eventually make your way into the center of the room.
Yeah.
And they're in there ready to go.
Ready for action now.
But it's basically for your turn, though,
That's
correct?
fine. Yeah.
Okay, top of the round, Maku.
The first thing I want to do is get my drone in.
Mhm.
I need a special thing on it to have people ride it, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have it go up to the diamond.
You're not gonna have the movement for that.
I'm not gonna. He has, I think, 40 feet as well. Movement.
Not gonna have
That's
that
a little
movement.
too far, yeah.
Can I get close?
Yeah, it'd be 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 40 would get you in between Rue and CV2.
Okay. I'll move my drone up there. And is he still threatening the little one?
The little one. Yes,
Diamond,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm gonna shoot him with my
Taser.
my taser.
certainly. So as the little drone comes sort of scurrying around over the whole combat, little hatch opens up. Taser is leveled directly at the vest you just shot Rue.
15.
A 15 does hit.
Okay. 3.
So unfortunately, like the giant bug, it doesn't go unconscious this time. As you tase the poor little Vesk, who essentially just goes, "What's it? What's it?" and levels its pistol down at your drone, which is eventually going to shoot, I imagine.
Yeah, but at least now he's distracted, so the little one can run away. And for Maku, I'm going to. This is the first time I'm going to try this, so
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure how it works. I'm
Sure.
going to try to disarm him.
Certainly. So that is an attack against KAC, plus 8. You can go ahead. He doesn't even have a weapon, though, if you recall.
Oh, he doesn't.
He's not armed,
He's
no.
not armed at all. He doesn't have any.
Well, he has
No.
arms, but no, he
Does
doesn't.
he have any? Does he have any grenades that I can see?
Nope. Nope, he's just a street tough. He's just a big burly guy who's not expected to be attacked by by actual people. This poor guy's just doing his job.
So if he's not armed or anything, he might run if I let him go.
Absolutely, who knows?
Okay, I think that I'm gonna hop off him.
Okay.
And who's the next closest one to me? The one where Nival is? Yeah, I think I'll run up and try to help Nival.
Yeah, them or the Vesk, either one.
Yeah, it's about the same.
I think my drone's got the Vesk, so I'm gonna run. Do I have to dash to get all the way there?
We got 10,
Probably.
15, 20, 25, 30. No, you could get, because you're like in the Noir Square, you could get right beside Nival on top of that table if you wanted to.
Okay, can I run and grapple him?
Sure. If you want to move Maku over onto that table there.
Hilarious.
Starfish.
Yeah. 6-arm thing
I got in that one.
flying through the air.
All off the table.
Smack.
As her gun is exploding in her hand, she recoils enough to get thrown out of the way as you sort of off the wall right beside and land back on the table. Unfortunately, not connecting even remotely. Anything else at Maku? I imagine not. Bringing us to tied at 17, both Doc and Rue.
Go for it.
Okay. So this Vesk here is leveling the gun at
The drone now, yep.
Okay. Okay.
and you're going to be on deck eventually.
And that guy's still just standing on top. No, he's down now.
He's down. He's
We can't
disappeared
see
down,
him at
yeah.
all. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I'll swivel where I am essentially and take a shot at the. I can take 2 shots, right?
You can yet, with a -4 to hit. To each.
Oh yeah, full attack or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to take a single shot.
Didn't work out for me.
And yeah.
Not at this level. Probably not the best
No.
idea.
We're too little.
With my semi-automatic pistol.
Certainly.
Again. Oh, that's probably failed. It's a 6.
6 total.
Okay, so I'm going to use my scrappy feat,
'Kay.
which is a class feat, or no, a racial feat,
Nice.
or not feat, sorry, feature.
Okay.
And it allows me to re-roll a failed attack roll. once
Easy
a day,
peasy.
With as long as I'm within 10 feet of an ally.
Which you absolutely are.
That is a nice one.
And that's the same thing.
As you try to like James McAvoy bullet bend, it unfortunately shoots a little bit wide, and you hear the bullet just ricochet off the inside of the shop. Thankfully, not hitting anything explosive, but not hitting anything fleshy either.
Okay, and then so that was my action.
Yep.
Then I can move still. I'm gonna move up to like the edge of the freight elevator there, essentially, so I can look down.
Certainly, yeah.
So like in front of me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you go hopping over and look down, you can see at the very, very bottom, probably like maybe 2 stories down, it looks like, it opens up into a warehouse, and currently there is a Vesk who has ripped off the lid of whatever crate he had with him, and it looks like he's fighting a blanket. Is what it looks like. He's currently struggling and pulling,
Okay.
being covered and draped over by something, and he's not in a good way. You can
has a cross
also
to bear.
hear the sounds of like shelves and things being broken out of your line of sight,
Okay.
sort of in this warehouse below. You hear the clattering and smashing of things, and this poor guy fighting a metallic-looking blanket.
If they're speaking in Vesk at all, I can understand it.
He's just get this
Okay.
goddamn thing stuck on
Okay.
me. He's stuck and very unhappy.
That will be it.
Certainly, Duck.
I'm gonna take a shot at the mandatory thing next to me.
Noir.
Certainly, yeah.
Just shooting him.
Yeah,
him
I
while
will
he's
say,
down.
just mechanically speaking, it would be easier to stab him. Because right now, if you shoot him, because he's prone, he gets more AC. 'Cause it's dumb.
Yep.
Oh.
It's -4 AC if it's melee and +4
Yeah,
if it's
All right,
ranged.
I'm just gonna go with an unarmed bite attack.
certainly.
Yep.
Nice. Give him
18
An 18 absolutely hits.
Yeah.
and maybe a 2. 6.
Jeez Louise, this poor guy. So, as he finally managed to, like, a combination of pull Maku off / Maku jumped, got tripped, stabbed, grappled, you just bite in, sinking into his shoulders. This poor guy's not having a good time. He yelps out in pain as he probably doesn't taste very good, but you get a solid chunk.
Long, sharp teeth.
Yeah, I got bit by a hamster once. It took the middle of my knuckle off. I know what it feels like. I can only imagine if it was a 3-foot hamster. So you just take a big chunk out of him.
Perfect.
Anything else to do on your turn?
Nope.
Just the blood is pouring down your face. Bringing us to his
I'm
turn.
a real doctor.
This is surgery.
Bringing us to his turn, as you sort of pull your teeth out of his shoulders, you definitely can see his eyes widening as he tries to stand up, thus provoking an attack of opportunity against you, if you would like to.
I would like to.
I will also say he is pretty clearly trying to get up and go. He's like turning in that direction. So if you want to bite him on the rear, you absolutely can.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Same thing.
Yep.
It's so damn scary.
9.
A 9 does not. Oh wait, he's inhibited. Yeah, a 9 does hit.
Oh yeah. Wicked. 3. 7.
7.
Poor guy.
Poor guy indeed. So as he just yelps in pain as he gets up and you like bite him in the lower thigh just above the knee in that weird painful crease area,
Perfect.
he screams in pain and begins to run away, only getting 15 feet. Just to the side, like this way. And Thurgood, you can see this like hobbling frame as he's trying to get past the window and get away. It's, well, bloodthirsty Doc is just dripping with this poor guy. My goodness.
Spits out a chunk.
Medicine! As he tries to get away. Bringing us to... That guy is... I'm going to call him functionally out of combat. bringing us to the Vesk, who's right in front of big ol' Thurgood.
Aye.
This Vesk is smart enough to know that you are armed even when you have a gun in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take a guarded step that way, 5 feet, so as to not provoke attack of opportunity from you, as he levels his pistol down at the drone, or she levels her pistol down at the drone, and takes a shot. What is your drone's armor class?
13.
13. That is a definite hit.
Oh, it's 14. Sorry.
Still a definite hit. Dealing 5 points of energy damage to your drone as he sort of spits out a curse at it in Vesk. Those of you who understand Vesk is stupid little bot, and takes a shot at it, thus ending their turn and bringing us to Nibel.
She's going to do the same thing she did last time, not actually sundering, but the same motion. Cut up once, and then cut down the second time with her frost cut. And functionally, she's going to full attack first with her normal, and then second with her entropic.
Yeah. So -4 to hit. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
Oh, not good. 8
Uh-oh.
for the first upswing.
An 8 is not a hit,
Yeah, yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
I feel less good.
And then the entropic one is a 15.
A 15 does hit.
Sweet. Okay.
I feel like that's the most important one.
That's 10 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I got max damage on my roll. So.
Oof. So as you swing the sword up, having successfully blown her weapon in half, she hasn't taken too much damage on her own, but when the second swing comes down, you can see that sort of almost like blue energy on the edge of your blade as it has a bit more oomph as it comes down and bites pretty harshly into their shoulder, nearly driving them to the ground, grievously wounding her very clearly, but not killing her. Anything else to do on your turn?
This can stop, please.
In response, because it's their turn,
Yeah.
they draw that combat dagger that they reach for and attempt to stab it up into your, well, guts, I suppose. As if you have guts. Does a 12 hit your kinetic armor class?
It's 13.
Oh no! So
Clink.
Yeah, exactly. It goes up, and there's that moment where it looks like she thinks she got you, because it does drive into you,
And I'm like, robot
but
sucker!
it doesn't hit anything
It's like a
important
gap, yeah.
at all. So it's just clink, and they look up at you with a bit of a panic, and it's wedged in there thematically. They're going to pull it out in a second and try again, but that's it for them. Oh, they're in trouble. Bringing us to Doc. Not Doc. They're good.
So with the Vesk stepping back, do I sort of have a clear line to the
Yep.
White Fur
Oh,
and
yeah, you're in
Soki?
front of me.
Presumably Diamond. Okay, I'm going to use my telepathic speech to
Sure.
equip.
Do you want out of here? Or do you have unfinished business? Or can you just go right now? Because I can get you out of here.
I'm actually going to roll dice for this one. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Nat 20.
So, as you sort of you level the gun in her direction, send this telepathic message to her, and a moment goes by where they sort of the pistol flips in their hand, as if they're showing a placating hand gesture. They're somewhat surrendering, it seems. And you know what? It's not fucking worth it.
Oh shit! Wait, who's speaking right now?
You said you were pointing at the vest, correct?
No, I was
Diamond.
I was
thought
pointing
you
at
said.
Diamond. Yeah,
Oh, my bad.
Nat 20 for persuading Diamond to get out of here.
Go back. So my bad. Diamond responds to you. If you can make it go away, that'd be great, please. That'd be wonderful. And they hop over the little counter that's behind them and
Okay.
cower. So you have
Retreating, so making it harder for me to get them out of there.
Yeah.
Very
shop.
persuasive.
Cool.
It's their shop, but she suggests that you go ahead and off these people.
Okay.
And the Vesk does not surrender their weapon. They're still pointing.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's the case, then I'm just gonna stare the Vesk down, and take a one shot
Certainly.
with the plasma array.
Big, giant boom beam gun.
19 to hit.
Oh, yes.
Thank God, finally doing damage.
Yay.
12.
12. So, this weapon is a line weapon, if I recall.
It is not. It's automatic.
It's automatic. So, as a series of bullets go firing out at this poor Vesk who just had their laser sort of pistol bringing up to shoot at you, noting at the last second that the Isoki they're trying to fight sort of scurries over. You get the impression that she's trying to go, where the are you? And just gets drilled down the side by a stream of laser shots and gets pummeled to the ground, nearly pulped and burned in some places, as this gun does more than enough to completely kill them.
Sorry.
It's messy.
Yeah.
Anything else to do on your turn?
Movement. Nope. That's good for me.
It's good for you.
That's the vest that had the pistol that's
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Knock that over.
And CB2, you are up.
Right. Well, the elevator's door is blocked. I was going to take a look. So instead, I'll punch something. Well, I won't punch something. My weapon this time, I'm using the, looks like a Formian claw.
Nice.
So I have a giant Formian claw arm thing. So I'm going to take a step like around Rulana to get in line with the human, and I'm going to do a stellar rush.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which does cool things.
I want to hear it. What's it do?
That I wreathe myself in stellar fire and make a charge without penalties. Yada yada yada.
Okay.
Basically, it just looks cool.
Looks
I could do a bull rush if I wanted to push her back, but basically I'm just moving really fast.
Shoulder
Yeah.
checker into the corner.
And then just
Certainly, go ahead and give me the attack roll. Charging gives you +2 to hit.
woo. Oh, that's right, it does.
Yeah.
That should be enough. I can't get to the right page. Oh yeah, that's a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely misses. No, he hits, yeah.
And 14 damage.
Good goodness. So, between Maku's near grapple and the two of you, well, tag teaming this poor human with a sword and now a Formian claw, as she was sort of trying her best to get up and sort of pull the dagger out of Nivel's innards, cleaved at the shoulder, you chop her arm completely off. And with a shriek and scream of pain, they fall to the ground in shock and pretty quickly bleed out and die near instantaneously, rendering them dead. There's a moment as the sort of dust begins to settle, as a few pieces of weapons and armor sort of fall off the shelves during all this combat. You hear the heavy footfalls of the Noir who dockbit twice scurrying down the hallway to get away. We're out of initiative for all intents and purposes. You can hear down in the freight elevator, and you still looking down, watches this Vesk is still thrashing against whatever it is, which you're watching over the course of seconds, slowly creeps up and envelops their face. They fall to the ground and are thrashing a little bit beneath what almost looks like a steel wool blanket that is sort of thrashing around on them. And as you hear the sort of muffled cries at the bottom of the elevator go silent over the course of just a couple of seconds, the steel wool blanket sort of slides and oozes off into the warehouse. Looking down, you can see that the Vesk, who was, well, fortunate enough to open the crate, is pretty severely chewed up. Almost like, it looks like a pretty severe case of road rash, but from here all the way down to the waist. Just
Slide cheese grater.
yeah, it's real bad. Clearly dead.
Meat crayon.
Yeah. That's the worst image I think I've seen heard in a while. You can hear the sound of clattering equipment in the warehouse below, but nothing more. Diamond, for what it's worth, sort of pokes their head up from behind the curtain. What in goodness God's name is going on in my shop?
Do you know what they would be after in the warehouse?
Well, probably everything. If I had to guess, I think they're just robbers. But, well, they were asking me where I was sending something, and I didn't want to give it to them. Thanks for coming to my aid. Can you help me with the warehouse, whatever's going on down there? Or should I just seal it off?
We should probably go down. Is there something going on down there other than them?
Well, it's where I keep all my real goods. They knew it was there. It was hidden behind, well, not anymore, obviously. I guess the secret's out for you guys, but my real shop, down below.
There's a blanket, metal blanket thing that I just saw do some nasty damage to the one that went down there.
Yeah, if you can handle it, that'd be great. Of
Oh, so you don't know what it is.
course I don't know what it is.
Yeah, sure. Fine.
Is there a
Fuck it.
button for the freight elevator?
There absolutely is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna press it while we're discussing this.
Certainly. Give me a perception check, please.
But before
Yeah.
before we go down, I'm gonna ask. Did you get hurt? Do you need some assistance? I've got the first aid kit.
I think they were just here to try to send a message of some kind. And message well received to whoever's listening if you still are out here. I won't send any more arms that way. I promise. I'm fine. They didn't actually hurt me.
Okay,
You
that
seem
is
to have got here in mostly the nick of time.
19.
19. As you press the elevator button, you watch it begin to rise up. Crate, dead Vesk on it. You do manage to spy that one of those weird little blanket things is and like slid underneath it
Oh, fabulous.
and maybe attached to the bottom. It's slowly making its way up, and there is an emergency stop button if you wanted to, but it's on the way up.
Draw your weapons, everyone. This blanket thing's coming up.
Damn it.
I'm moving over by the elevator.
Certainly reposition all yourselves, please, to where you need to be.
I'm gonna
When
shut- I'm
it's
gonna shut
like
the front door.
probably a
Oh,
foot,
I'll shut it as I
a
go.
foot from the like.
should introduce
So
yourself.
step like.
Mhm.
I'd stop it
Certainly.
so that we'd have to
Just
step
have
down
a
to get
hilarious
onto it.
Certainly.
Is there enough time to draw the blinds?
Yeah, so as you sort of ask that question, presumably Diamond sort of just presses a button beneath the counter that she's standing behind, and they just transition to an opaque glass
Yeah.
instantaneously. And also, they sort of point at the open sign, which is a classic Our Age neon sign with a little switch on it. We should probably turn that off so no one comes knocking.
Yep.
How long does it take to put on armor? Long, right?
A while, yes.
Okay.
Now, you could take the time if you wanted to before it gets stopped. It's 10 minutes, yeah.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. No, I'm good.
No way.
I have it written down
We have
somewhere.
time.
Well, not really if there's blanket things coming up the elevator.
Well, we can go now. Whatever.
Who needs armor?
I'm going commando. It's fine.
I'm
I'm
actually
just
commando.
like mine's second skin, so it's under my stuff, anyways.
Mine doesn't do much, so I don't think it matters.
The same with
Mine
Like,
does a
oh,
lot.
that's nice.
So during this time,
Yep.
I would have drawn my tactical knife in my second, or my my survival knife.
Sure.
In my second hand. Yeah.
Okay. So the elevator is
I'm
going.
going to tell her that I'm a grand scrabber's kid. Grandkid.
Okay.
Are there weapons in here?
Plenty of weapons.
Is there a machete?
Most certainly.
Can I grab a machete?
Oh my
Absolutely.
You grab six machetes.
Drunk Maku machete.
Somebody's gonna lose a limb.
You have they're basically daggers for you at that point. It's dagger
Like a
machete.
javelin.
Adorable. Are you trying to be a mini me?
Well, like I kind of wanted one anyway, and she said that there was an angry blanket. So
Like this. They'll like show you how this.
Yeah, so I said blanket. It looks like it's probably pretty sharp. It messed his face up. Something fierce.
Oh.
He's dead.
Okay.
Vesk have pretty thick skin. This might
I'm
not be
gonna
great.
position it to stab downwards.
Certainly. Okay. So as the elevator is slowly but surely rising its way up, taking arguably more time to go up than down, you can hear the sound of thrashing still down in the warehouse proper from something else still down there. But as the elevator is getting closer and closer, underneath the whir of the machinery, you can hear almost what sounds like grinding metal, like the gears, perhaps, the mechanism of this elevator is having some trouble getting up. As you're positioning yourselves to stand above it, is everybody happy with where they are on the map right
I'm
now?
gonna put myself adjacent to Diamond. That's all right. Sort of in that back corner.
The
'Cause I have a
dead
lot of
vest
range.
can probably move
Yeah,
better
she can
there
move
now.
there.
Yeah.
And the human as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Gives me distance.
Can we see it coming up?
You can see the elevator coming up
Yeah.
with the crate and the dead Vesk on it.
Yeah.
But the
blanket thing's
blanket creature is
underneath.
below it, it would seem.
Under the elevator.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Can the three of us shift like one square this way so that, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually go ahead and move the binder out of the way so you can see
Oh.
yeah, enough of the bottom, which you're not in yet, which is fine.
Diamond, how many Vesk went or how many creatures went down there before us, before we got here?
Just the one seemed to know where to go, and you're telling me they're gone. So
Did only one seem to know where to go? Did any seem to just be stumbling their way through?
no, just
Okay.
the one that's down there.
So you don't know what the thing is. Do you know how many you bought?
I didn't buy any.
Oh god.
They came to send a message, from what I'm gathering.
No, not the
No,
vest.
you're
the
nasty little,
blanket thing.
Yeah.
No idea what that is.
Okay.
Okay.
The crate that the vest was on, is that something of yours?
No,
or
they
did
brought
they bring it?
They brought it with them.
Is the crate open? Can I see?
Yeah, looking down, you can see it's clearly open, and
That's what the blanket came out
that's what
of.
the blanket came out of. And also looking inside, you can see the interior of it is pretty heavily scratched and damaged on the inside as well.
But it's empty.
It's empty. Okay. Thoroughly. Yes.
How big was the
far as we
blanket
know.
in comparison to the box?
It was enough to cover his entire upper torso.
But I mean, does the box look like there would be more than one inside of it?
Probably. Could fit.
Could fit.
Yep.
Something sent to destroy her inventory, I would guess.
Perhaps.
Judging by the sounds coming out of the basement, would seem that way. Let's move it along. Fix this problem for me, and I'll give you a discount. And you, even a family discount.
There we go.
Is your inventory just weapons?
Mostly, yes.
What's the other part of the most?
Well, weapons, traveling gear. There's some explosives down there, which, well, times are ticking.
I think we can hash this out later.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, we're at that point where the elevator has made it up to the
the point where I
appointed
said
part
it
where you
stopped.
press the stop button. And when you do, you hear what sounds like almost like liquid sloshing. As the elevator stops, you just hear it go back and forth as the platform itself shudders ever so slightly, but then doesn't move. Nothing springs out to kill you. Nothing happens. You're just a step away from touching the elevator if you wanted to.
Can you press down on the platform with your weapon there to see if it's going to stay in place?
Oh, the platform itself?
Yeah, I'm worried it's doing something to the hydraulics underneath. That's like causing it to go up and down, essentially. There's something liquid under there. I don't know what would be liquid under there that I could hear unless there was a broken line or something.
There's a drone.
I'm just gonna step on it.
It's a liquefied
fuck
vest.
it.
Certainly. You step on off, and it's a little bit shaky, but doesn't fall.
Yeah.
You can hear and feel beneath your feet a pretty obvious vibration. It's probably affixed to the bottom of this platform. Sort of a stomp on it. And as you do, you watch as curling around the edges of this lift from probably two sides, like two corners, this strange, almost like a dark mercury-like liquid begins to flow upwards like a T-1000 around, sort of fitting through the spaces and coming up to sort of flow over top to be on the lift with you. As it does, I'm going to need a new initiative roll from everybody again, and as enough of it reaches over the edge, it rather quickly seems to almost fling itself towards you, Nival, being clearly drawn to you, and depending on how good I roll here, we'll see what happens.
So before we go into combat, this is my first weapon. So, do I have proficiency in melee? So what do I add to my?
You add your level
Attack.
to the damage.
Add my level to the damage, and the attack stays the same. The attack roll stays the same.
I believe so.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know.
Yeah,
So
it'll
that was
be,
weapon specialization for the damage, and you add your level to the attack roll if you are proficient.
nope, just damage.
Never mind.
Okay.
So, initiatives, please.
14.
8.
24.
What? 9.
12.
23. Sorry,
22.
I can add.
Nice.
It was a nat 20.
You're still the highest regardless. So, as monster stats, there we go.
Last again.
That's where you move yourself onto the lift, please.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
Properly. And as you sort of step on the lift and watch it come around the corner and you level your sword, preparing yourself to potentially swing at it, it whole bodily blankets itself, flies through the air, detaching, affixing itself to you. You can put this down on the ground,
Ooh, spiky boy.
Oh, yeah.
as I absolutely do it.
Nice.
It comes flying up around the corner, and when it does, you immediately feel a sense of magnetism as it connects to you, affixing itself.
Like that kind of.
Like that, affixing itself to you, wrapping around, and begins to sort of grind. You can see that it is a semi-liquid type construction, but as it's like affixed to your body and even over your ocular sensor, you can see that on the side that's facing you, it's taking on a much more porous texture as it's trying to grind you to pieces. Dealing. That's terrible. Dealing 7 points of bludgeoning damage as it grinds into your body. Those of you from the outside looking in watch as Nival becomes, for the most part, enveloped. It is attached to you. You are grappled by it.
Yep.
Automatically. It is now Maku's turn.
Is there any spot that it looks that I could try to hit it without hurting Nivel?
Absolutely. Yeah, you could just
Okay.
swing it.
So I'm just gonna run like and I'm gonna try to do exactly what Nivel showed me. So I'm gonna go up and then I'm gonna
Certainly.
down.
Before you need to do attack roll, this thing has a special rule in it due to its magnetic field. You need to give me a strength check, please.
First,
Keep your weapon in your hand.
7.
So as you go to swing your weapon, you find it being unerringly drawn towards this thing, which you would think would make it easier to hit, but in fact gives you a -2 penalty on your attack roll.
Okay.
You may go ahead and do the attack roll.
13.
A 13.
Oh wait, -2, 11.
An 11 does not hit. So as you go to swing, it essentially sends out like a pulse of its fluid, shoots out, blunts the edge of your sword as it hits, and tries to pull onto it. And you manage to, at the last second, sort of yank it out.
Melee is strength,
Yes.
so then it's 10.
Even worse. So yeah, you unfortunately do not manage to connect in any meaningful way.
Do I get it back, or
Yeah,
is it
you
like
do.
stuck?
No, you get it
Okay.
Anything else out of Maku? We also need to make sure Maku is somewhere on the map nearby to actually hit it.
Yeah, where would you?
I was right on the table there. Yeah, so I think I just
Yeah.
need to jump down there.
Okay.
Ben?
My drone. If I try to taser it, I'm also gonna taser Nivel, aren't I?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay, then I'm gonna have my drone run up and try to taser it as well.
Certainly. We could taser it from right there if you wanted to. Like it is a range weapon.
Okay, yeah, I'll stay out of the way and I'll try to taser it.
Certainly.
18?
An 18 does hit.
4.
4. Ooh. So as the taser sort of sparks out across the gap and hits it, you notice something very distinctly. It seems to completely absorb the electric energy.
Oh shit.
Dealing no meaningful damage whatsoever. It is resistant to electricity. You have now learned for sure. Anything else out of Maku? Neville.
So I have a question for you mechanically.
Yes,
Does
please.
it not hit my AC when you first attack? Because you
Yep.
didn't ask my AC. I just need to know strategically.
Oh, I absolutely did. I rolled an 18. That's a whole whack of stuff.
Okay,
So I did hit your AC.
buffs do potentially. Okay, so she's just going to kind of stay. She's going to move down, hunch down, and fall into total defense.
Okay. So just trying your best to sort of cover up the vital bits
Yeah.
as you're trying to fight inside this enveloping blanket that's trying to eat you.
Yep. That's it.
That's it for you. Bringing us to Rue. And then Doc.
Something here.
And then the blanket.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to use my
Blanky.
trick attack.
Sure.
So I can move up to my speed and then attack with a melee weapon and possibly get some bonus damage here. So I'm gonna move up so that I'm on this side of it here.
It's a good thing you have the broken one. You got more room.
There we
There
go.
you go.
True. Okay, so I move to there. I'm going to the check I'll make against it is a sense motive check.
Okay.
Because that's my specialization, so it'll give me a +4 on the check.
Certainly. Well, what do
The
I
DC
got to
is-
do?
The DC of my check is 20 plus your CR.
Okay.
That is 15, and then my sense motive. I think this hits, or this passes the check, but sense motive is a +9, so yeah, 24.
A 24.
And then it's a +4 on top of that, so
Yeah.
28.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Can do your trick attack.
So with my survival knife there,
Do you also get to sense his motive?
and
No, it's just a way to
No,
mechanically
yeah.
say that they
Oh.
do the trick attack, yeah. You do
That would
need to
look
give me a
pretty
strength
cool,
check
though.
before you do your swing, though,
right, okay.
as your weapon swings in at this magnetic blanket. It's like one of those hush blankets, but worse.
It's a 60. Oh, strength. Yeah, 16.
Lasts forever.
16 is enough
Is your
to
claw metal?
not get thrown off.
Okay.
Nice.
You still got to hit it now.
Yeah. No, I just.
Oh, your trick
did
attack
I
does
not
hit it.
roll?
Never mind. Yep. Ignore me. Carry on. I think you need to do the sense motive to do the trick attack.
Yeah, just let me check.
Let's figure it out.
I might still need to. Magic attack. As a full action, you can move at your speed. Whether or not you move to then make your attack. Right, okay, I need to do the actual attack roll. Part of that. Yeah.
All right. Figuring it out.
First time using things.
Also
Oh,
flat-footed against your attack,
is it? Oh, 'cause it,
Nice.
even without feet.
Okay. Well, it doesn't hit, so this is a good point.
Oh no.
'Cause
all
it's
that
like
work.
a 2 plus something. So yeah.
What was that insult I heard the other day? A long walk on a cold beach to a store that's closed. That's what that is.
Anyways, I tried. Okay.
Well, you go hopping in, and you can definitely feel the magnetization of this thing, and you manage to sort of move through it and still stop at the last second and not accidentally stab Nival.
Okay. And that I think is it.
I think
'cause
it's
I
it,
used my
'cause
move. I used my full action.
Yeah.
And I don't need to do anything with my swift action. Okay.
Perfect. Bringing us to Duck.
Okay. I'm going to move, and I'm going to use my new feet to scurry underneath Thurgood, and it doesn't hinder us in any way.
Oh,
Either
hell
of
yeah.
us. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be using
So
that.
you're my meat shield. And then I'm going to use my action to use my microlab to scan this thing
Certainly.
and see if I can identify what it is.
Certainly. So Microlab, I'm pretty sure just gives you an automatic 20 on it because of your biohacker microlab thing. So will be an engineering check to do it.
It's as long as I have my microlab, 60 feet, DC check to determine what the creature's rarity, physical or life science. If the creature is living, it's life science. If it's unliving, physical science.
Okay, so physical science, but I'm pretty sure you get an automatic 20 on it. I'm fairly certain as part of your biohacker thing.
You always treat your die roll as a 20.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well done.
pretty fantastic. So you get to ask some questions and learn some stuff about it. What you know is it has ooze immunities, which means it can't be knocked prone, can't be pinned, it can't be grappled, but it can grapple you. It also has resistance to electricity 5, which is why it absorbed your entire taser. It has damage reduction to both piercing and slashing of 5. So if you do any of those attacks, it will take less damage. It also has a weakness to fire damage in some capacity. Okay? But what that actually does, I won't tell you until you actually do it.
I won't tell.
I can do fire damage.
And then what else can you learn? I'll give you its AC as well. Its EAC is 13 and its KAC is 15. Okay, so it's harder to hit with sticks than it is with fire. Okay.
Mechanically speaking, it's in Nival's square right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
and just it wouldn't have made any difference because the roll was so low, but I'm technically flanking with CV2 right now.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Anything else at the Duck?
I think that's it.
That's it. That's all, because it's now the blanket's turn. So the blanket that is currently attached to you is just going to sort of pulse in energy and start to further try to grind you. What is your current kinetic armor class?
15.
15. Unfortunately, even with total defense? Even with total defense? Oh, jeez.
It is -2 because I'm grappled.
That's true.
Yeah.
So as it's sort of just
And I'm not wearing armor.
grinding against and into you, it does 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm going to mechanically spend an entropy point to reduce that by 2 points.
Easy peasy. So those of you looking out watches this thing is like undulating on top of Nival, but you get the sense of like a dampening on the inside, and it ripples on the outside, kind of like when you take one of the magnets near that cool liquid. It goes all fancy. I will also say that during this initiative round, Rue, you can sort of get a glimpse down through a sliver of space into the warehouse, and you can see that much like the trees in Jurassic Park sort of falling towards you, there is another pool of liquid sort of sloshing its way, going up over top of different pieces of equipment and moving its way directly towards the base of the elevator. And that's it for their turn, bringing us to Thurgood.
I imagine Thurgood is hard of hearing at this moment. What was that, dog? Fire?
Fire.
All right, let it rip. I'm going to take just one attack.
Certainly.
The nat 20.
Whoa!
So, that is double the dice.
Yeah, roll the dice twice.
Roll the dice twice.
And then your modifier twice if you have one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Where's my other D10? There it is. Big money, no whammies.
whammies.
That's still doubled, and since I have weapon specialization, that does get doubled.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 6 plus 3, so 9 fire damage, but critical effect is burn. 1d4.
Okay, so 9 damage. So that's burn. I'm pretty sure it's on my turn, correct?
I believe so.
pretty
I
sure
can look
burn's
at
on my
the condition. Does that count as legit? That's a 4. So
The
I,
triangle dice, yeah.
yeah. So let's look at what burn is. Conditions burn.
I'm pretty sure they take it at the top of their round.
The listed damage. Oh. Wait, what? The listed damage at the start of my turn, and it must be extinguished to end it, which I believe.
is an action.
Can
I'm
be
pretty
done
sure.
as an action.
Yeah.
Or is it more strict? Like they actually have to have a way to put themselves out.
I think you can top up and roll.
Okay, cool. So they take 4
4 more. Okay.
at the start of their turn.
Of their turn, which is not for a little while. So we'll cross that off. You get to keep your dice roll because we didn't know what was going on. You
Yeah.
get the 4. Also because you whiffed on your crit.
Yeah.
It's even better. I will say, as soon as it the beam rifle hits into this oozy blanket thing that's on you, you feel an instant sort of radiant of heat come washing through it. But as it does, it shudders in place and just sloughs off and forms onto the ground, no longer currently magnetized and stuck to you. And next turn. Okay. It is no longer giving off a magnetic aura of any kind whatsoever. Bringing us to, if you're done, CV2.
So is it in that spot again?
It is in that spot now, yeah.
All right.
So by that spot, you mean Nivel's spot or outside of
The
Nivel's
spot one
Okay.
farther away from me.
I will just move into the elevator so I can attack it, and I will attack it.
Certainly.
Where to?
I guess between Nivel and yourself, that corner.
No, between Nivel and
Yeah, I don't think I can get.
this corner here. No.
There
Yeah,
you
there.
go.
Right there's
Oh,
good.
brain.
Yeah. And let's just let's do a full attack because why not? So first one. Nope. I've had one of the garbage.
That's why.
-2.
-2. Well, +2 technically. 14.
Against EAZ?
No, it counts as a physical weapon, I believe.
In that case, it does not hit. Unfortunately, you know its KAC is 15, so you come sliding in, attempting to punch down with your fire-forming fist,
Yep.
and unfortunately do not hit. It's that weird moment where it like opens up as a puddle, and you punch the actual elevator, and it closes up again.
Let me get a double check that it. Yeah, it's a kinetic weapon.
Okay.
There you go.
Dems the brakes. Bringing us to Maku's turn.
I want to do a quick look at, because I'm going to assume I don't know that it's not magnetized anymore.
You do. You can feel the pressure disappear. It's no longer magnet.
Okay.
Very
I'm still going to
obviously.
take a quick look around to see if there's any better of a weapon that I can use quickly.
Not within arm's reach.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to. I'm still gonna do the thing that Nivel showed me.
Okay. So is it just one normal attack?
Oh, I can choose to do 2.
You can always do 2 attacks.
And
a
it's
penalty.
But
Minus
it's
four.
-4 is the penalty.
Yeah.
And what's his KC?
15.
I can't hit it. So no, I'm just gonna do 1 attack.
Okay.
Like I would have to hit a nat 20 to get that. Oh, and they got a nat 20.
Oh.
Amazing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your damage dice twice.
Okay.
Then
I'm just
add your
gonna-
modifiers twice.
And the modifier is plus my level, right?
Plus your strength modifier if you have one.
Yeah.
Oh, my strength goes on to the damage
Yeah,
too?
it does.
So if it's a minus,
It's a minus.
Oh. Okay. I still get +2 then, because we're level 2, right? The first one is 5. The second one is 8. So 5 plus 8, 13.
13 plus 4 is not enough to kill it.
more than Thurka did.
Yeah.
Almost twice
More
as
than I
much.
did, yeah.
30 plus 4 is 17. There we go. Okay. So as you actually, wait a minute. Jeez Christ. So as Maku, first time ever using a sword, it comes sliding in. One large swing up misses completely wildly, but remembering the training that Nivel gave you not 3 seconds ago, you come swinging down like a butcher's cleaver. It hits right in the middle of it, and it explodes out in 2 different directions, spattering everybody in this pretty horrendous, brackish, black, slightly hot to the touch metallic fluid, which begins to sort of just drip off, as if you are hydrophobic and in this water. It pools onto the ground, actually killing this ferrofluid ooze.
Nice.
Hey,
Okay.
back. Do you got the vial that I could take some of this in?
Don't relax too much. There's another one coming.
Do you have any movement to do on your turn?
Do I get to hear what she said right now? So,
Hold on. We might be frozen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're completely
Damn it.
frozen.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Womp womp. We did
you want
recover
me
from
to-
it last time.
We did, yeah. It just sort
Give
of
it a
worked.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're juddering. Oh, we might be back.
Well, that's
Oh,
doing
no,
its thing.
juddering.
I don't think I was actually able to make a full attack there because I moved first. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
we
I
know
won't
for
do
next
that
time.
again.
Bad.
Bad
Shame on you.
android. Cheat. No, didn't matter
We were doing
anyway.
so good not freezing the bottom camera, but instead, the whole thing.
Damn thing. Yeah.
That's okay. Do you want to just put in chat that will be?
Oh,
I can't.
Oh, it's your
Somebody
computer
can.
again.
The whole.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
After these messages.
Okay, so just
will
stop
be
clicking
right.
stuff.
I'm not clicking stuff. Oh, we were doing so good too.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, it's coming and going. Yeah, it did.
Completely. Damn.
No.
We had 8 healers.
Whole computer's not moving right now.
I swear,
you-
I swear it's that juddery thing.
I think it is too. That's what I said.
That
There's
what
no
thing?
reason. Dan's computer is as
It's-
powerful
it's
as mine,
possessed.
and mine could handle this no problem. And I know his
Why don't
can
we
too.
switch the computers?
Do you want to do that?
Good.
Until, because I won't be able to play Stardew, but I'll mostly just watch Netflix.
Oh,
Ha!
Oh, what?
Hold on. Something's happening.
Here, I'm just gonna message. in the
Okay,
chat.
we're back. We're alive. It's working.
things
Oh.
are happening.
Did it save that as a video, a separate video though?
It
Probably
might have
will.
on
Okay.
Twitch, but it's still a single recording here.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have control of my computer again.
I don't see the live thing on here though.
Yeah, it might just take a second to come back in. Reconnecting. Starting. There's an option to end the stream, which means it's probably live. So we fix it by doing nothing.
Oh,
I've done nothing and I'm all out of ideas.
Hey!
there we are.
Oh,
We're back. Thank
Great.
you. Message from our sponsors.
I mean,
There might have been an ad.
Which
Who
is
knows?
clearly not a computer producer.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Alrighty. Where were we? There we go. We were, I believe, in Maku's turn, asking whether or not you heard the message from Rue, which you did. What would you like to do?
Is there a way to get down from my drone? It can climb on the.
Your drone absolutely could, yes. There's enough of a gap because where you decided to stop it is a little over a foot sort of down. So there's about a foot gap between the floor and the elevator itself. So you could sneak your drone in, no problem, because it's pretty small.
Yeah, it's just gonna go enough to try to see what's going on and where it is.
Certainly, yeah. So if you move the drone right up to the edge of the, you can move that ooze out of the way because it's dead. Thank you.
Splashy everywhere.
This edge or that edge?
That edge. Yeah, there you go. So as your drone sort of scurries over and you sort of look through your little viewfinder, you can see clearly moving forward there is another ferrofluidic ooze that is currently scurrying its way across the floor, climbing, rolling, flowing over all of the equipment and making its way towards the base of the elevator as your little drone is just perched over the edge looking down. It'll be upon you soonish.
How far down is it?
It's 2 stories down,
that's
so
a
like
lot.
17, 18, 20 feet almost, depending. I mean, it's not Isoki sized, so
Can I? Maku's gonna take one of the grenades out of his, and these. Maku's convinced they're not alive, so he's not gonna think they have eyes. So I'm gonna do the sticky bomb.
you've already attacked this turn.
you killed it.
You swing
Still
down.
an
You
edge.
swing
Oh,
down.
that was
with
still
your
this
sword.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Then I'm just gonna.
Yeah, so you like go over and like open the hatch and look in, and are ready to hopefully chuck a grenade off the edge and see what happens. But that's
I
it for
got
your turn.
distracted with the pause.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's just gonna relay that it's coming.
Certainly. Nival.
Nival is going to kind of straighten herself up, kind of dust herself off, like, thank you. And then look at herself kind of like, oh, they scratched the paint.
They definitely did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like a
And
steel wool.
Go up here and can I ready an action?
You could. Yeah.
Yeah, same idea, like sword ready to stab if it comes up through the thing.
Certainly. That's it.
Yep.
Easy peasy. Rue. And then Duck. And then Blanket.
I am going to. Right now, I have my semi-automatic and my knife in hand. Okay, I'm going to stay where I am, but I'll use my move action to, because I can use my standard action as a move action, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll sheathe my semi-automatic back in the quick draw pouch, and
Okay.
I will draw my laser pistol,
Okay.
and that's it.
That's it. That's all. Get ready for a fight. Duck.
I'm gonna move up. And I'm gonna hide under CV2.
Sort of
Inside your space.
Okay.
Slide on in there, ready to go.
That's it.
Anything else? Okay. The Blanket's turn. From your point of view, still somewhat looking through the visors, you looking down, you watch as the ooze sort of scurries along the floor, and when it gets about maybe 5 or 10 feet from where the elevator would be if it was down on the ground, it just lunges up, stretching outwards, clearly magnetically charged and drawn directly towards your drone. When it does so, this movement does not provoke an attack of opportunity, but your readied action will allow you to swing at it, and it automatically attaches to the creature or the target, as per the attach rule, thus making your drone now grappled. So unfortunately, as you're like looking through, getting ready to pick a grenade out, suddenly it gets face hugged by a metal blanket, and is completely encapsulated by this drone. You can go ahead and do your attack of opportunity, or your ready to attack, sorry.
Yup. It's 6.
A 6, unfortunately, does not hit.
She freaked out. Like, I mean,
Yeah, because it came way faster than you thought it would. It came up those full 2 stories and just lunged directly outwards. What is your drone's kinetic arm class?
Kinetic, 14.
That is absolutely a hit. Whoa. Your drone takes 12 bludgeoning damage. Near to the max, as it just envelops the drone completely and begins to grind it into paste in place, bringing us to Thurgood. You definitely hear there's still a commotion. There's more coming, and you heard Nival swing, miss, and clang off of the edge of the elevator shaft.
But I wouldn't have line of sight from where I am in this corner.
No.
All right. Then I'm just going to move sort of towards the door then to get line of sight around my comrades. This is 80 feet of range. So
Yeah,
if I
absolutely, yes. You just sort of scurry over to get beside the door, and when you do so, you see that Diamond is sort of peering up over the corner, or over the counter, so yeah, get him, go, get him.
Oh yeah. Don't you worry. I take another shot.
She's so cute.
With the plasma array, that is 16 to hit.
A 16 does hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 fire damage.
So as soon as you sort of stride over, only 4, you could add your level.
7.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So as you stride over and fire a bigger shot than you thought, it hits into the blanket, which is enveloping Maku's drone, and immediately the flame washes over it, and it sort of dissolves a little bit, forming a puddle at the feet of Maku's drone. If you could put that token right behind Maku's drone, essentially, just so it's there and represented as it is demagnetized, and sort of forming a little puddle, trying its best to reach out and grab things, but it can't right now.
That's it.
Bringing us to CV2.
I could explode. but y'all are too close.
Be rude. I'm under you.
It would be rude, yeah. So I'll just take a step and take a swing. Oh, let's do the full swing.
So you're stepping right in.
Right in front of you, I guess. Yeah.
Can he flank with the drone?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a +2 on your.
Oh, is it a +2
Can
even
he
on the
flank
full
the,
attacks?
Can he flank if it's under me?
It's not. It's in its own space.
Oh, it's in its own
In
space
its
now?
own
Oh, I
space,
see.
yeah.
I see.
All right. So full attack, and it'll be. I have +6 to hit, -4 because it's a full attack, +2 because it's flanking.
Whew, math.
Yeah.
Can anybody flank?
Yep.
So it's +4 to both of these rolls. So 17 and 9. So
17 will
I guess
hit. And because it's no longer magnetized, you don't need to do the check.
It's not
Didn't
a
need to do the
metallic
strength
weapon
test.
either.
There you go. That's true. Even better.
Nice.
Oh, woo, 15 damage.
Jeez.
I know that feeling.
All right then. So as it just lunges up through the air, wraps around Maku's drone, gets seared off by a laser gun. As it's reforming itself in the pool, you just sort of stride up with the power of literally the sun, punch down into the ground, and just not only blow it to pieces, but like vaporize the constituent parts that fly off in all directions, leaving zero residue behind, save for a tiny little bit that's still on the end of your shoulder weapon that's like sizzles away to nothing. From behind the counter, Diamond just sort of pokes up their head. Did you get it?
Oh yeah.
Is it gone?
Looks that way.
Looking good. I gesture grandly at the dog pile, I guess. That's sort of
It's all jammed into the elevator.
Yeah.
And
Has
then,
anyone seen one of these things before?
You kidding me? No.
No,
Just checking.
Sorry.
I'm not going to lie. Now I'm a little scared of blankets. Good thing I don't use blankets.
I'm going to go over to the desk that I pulped.
Yep.
Ranks, insignias, identifying anything.
give me a perception check, please.
15 flat.
15 flat. Okay, so looking through their belongings, trying to find any sort of anything that would signify where they might be, who they might be from, you did pretty substantial damage to them. Unfortunately, when you blew them to pieces. So if there were any iconography on their like uniform or clothing they were wearing, it's probably entirely gone.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, however, you do find a tattoo or a brand of sorts when you're searching through part of their destroyed jumpsuit. Essentially folds out so you can see that right on the sort of side rib cage area, they have a symbol you're somewhat familiar with of the Aspis Consortium. It's a well-known and publicly known criminal organization that exists. It's like the Mafia and Yakuza and I don't know, NYPD all lumped into one. They're generally bad news bears.
Yep.
I can't use bad news bears talking to you, damn it. They're generally bad news.
Thank you.
Bad news pandas.
Yes.
So they represent some criminal organization, to be sure.
Okay.
And as you're in the process of rifling through the remains, Diamond sort of hops up onto the counter of the shop there, looks down. What in goodness name are you doing? They're dead. And if you want something, I can give you something in recompense.
I'm not here to strip them for parts or whatever. I'm curious to see why they're here.
I'm checking the one in the elevator during this time too.
Certainly. I will.
He was not hit by a laser.
He wasn't, yeah. So looking through all of their belongings, be it the human that got destroyed by the two robots or the one that got killed by the blanket, between them you find a destroyed laser rifle, a tactical knife, and a laser pistol, the same as yours, that the Vesk had. Aside from that, the other two don't have any notes, any iconography, any symbols on them. They look to be hired guns more than anything. Okay, there's no similarities between their three get-ups or three uniforms. There's not really much to say aside from the tattoo that you found that would signify where any of them came from.
Yeah.
As Diamond has hopped up on the edge, you ask why. You were in the middle of rifling through. If you want something, I can give you something in recompense. I can pay you for your services, and say thanks, I suppose, more than anything. I need to know how much damage has been done down below, though. If you mind, excuse me. Hops off, sort of steps squelching in. The vest gets on the floor, like shakes their foot off as they scurry on into all of you in the elevator. Excuse me, kindly. We can only fit so many people on here at once. Who wants to come down with me? I'm pressing the button anyways.
I want to come.
I'm going.
I'm hopping off.
So you hop off as they press the button, and it begins to sort of slowly go down the elevator. As it gets down onto the main floor, you can see them sort of scurry over to the edge of the elevator and look down over the destruction. Oh, no, not that too. God damn. I'm never going to recover. This is going to take forever. When it gets to the floor, they hop off those last couple of feet, land with a pretty knee-cracking thud, and begin to scurry through all the destroyed equipment on the floor, just cursing as they go, upset that many of their belongings are destroyed. Those of you who are within earshot, down on the floor, hear them sort of muttering under their breath, I never should have sold those weapons. Not even worth it. Not even gonna make any money off this anymore. Stupid friggin' androids asking for money. And just grumbling as they go. Eventually, she sort of stops and turns to face, well, whoever's down here with her. I don't got too much left to give you, I don't think. This stupid thing's destroyed most of my good stuff, but, well, not all of it. Thanks to my family member, I suppose.
I got your fan.
Yeah. Had you not shut up, maybe they wouldn't have opened the box. Who knows? But, well, I suppose actual formal introductions need to happen. Lana, you can call me. Diamond, I most often go by. Welcome to what's left of Diamond's Defense and Surplus. Why'd you come knocking, cousin?
Just in town.
Well,
Nan passed away, and left me some of her stuff.
Yeah, which one? Which Nan?
Scriber.
One of the bad ones. All right, that's fine.
That's what she said about you.
Well, I'm not surprised. Jeez. Back up to the top, at least. No point in sifting through all this wreckage, my goodness. When the lift begins to go back up again, shakily, probably damaged from the ferrofluidic oozes that came up before all of you are back again on ground level in the closed shop. She looks around at all of you on display. Well, none of you are family. Why are you traveling with us, ragamuffin?
He's pretty fun.
He's our
Definitely come in handy a few times.
He's our doctor.
You don't even need a doctor.
I need a doctor.
What you need is a mechanic.
I can do that. I can fix you up if you want.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm very good at fixing things, especially metal things that have little gears in them.
Certainly.
Go ahead. Oh, the one right now.
So right now that would be an engineering check.
It's an engineering. Okay. 24.
To start this process, and we actually need to look it up. Actual fixing.
Yeah, I don't know. I should keep that. I should make a note of that because I'm assuming that I'm going to be fixing up an eyeball.
Will be the equivalent of a medicine skill.
Yes.
You just use engineering instead.
Yep.
I think it does a
I forget
quarter.
the alphabet.
MZAQBF7.
LMNOT.
Takes 1 minute. I'm going to use you restore 1 hit point per level or CR of the creature you are healing, which will be you. It can only be done once every 24 hours.
I didn't take any hit point damage.
Well, it needs to be easy. You don't need to. You essentially
You still can for.
think you need to. You go through the process.
I can go do some sand.
Yeah, you're like-
I give you like produce a little polishing rag.
We're getting
Buff
the,
it out.
We're
Buff
getting
it
the
out.
ship painted.
Please buff it out.
We
Please.
can get you
buff it out.
purple,
Yeah.
No.
hard purple.
Get out that giant.
That might be a
curve.
good
Be the disguise. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You will not be altering my color.
When we were down there, did it look like everything was legitimately destroyed? Like, would I be able to?
Not everything, but it looks like it's been like thrashed pretty
Okay.
heavily. Every single shelf has been sort of pulled over. There's probably some salvageable stuff for sure. They might just being hyperbolic, saying that everything's destroyed.
Right. Okay.
It's all just a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, how'd you get mixed up with this in the first place? I'm looking down at this lady, and she's Aspis.
Yeah, well, I sold some stuff to an android.
Yeah.
No offense.
None taken.
I have a little bit of distrust for your kind nowadays. There was, Nola One. You know of them? Probably
one.
Nola One. Yeah, probably
Don't
not.
think so.
Nope.
No, they came asking for a shipment of some pretty serious weaponry to be taken out to Iraq somewhere in the diaspora. Something about freeing a bunch of robots that are going to be in some kind of fighting thing. I don't know. I sold the weapons. Worst mistake of my life. Never again. You want a weapon from me? You're not getting it. Not happening.
I thankfully don't need a weapon from you.
Well, good, because you're not getting one.
Can I keep this machete?
You know what? As payment for your help, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Did they say where they were trying to free these bots from?
Was it aposte by chance?
That's the one. That's the very place.
Small
Great.
world.
Fine, I get that.
Must you say?
Even more specifically, I can tell you. Yeah, they said they were going to meet in Wrecker's Field on a past day.
Wrecker's Field.
And I don't know where that is. Never been there. Never intend to go. Certainly not going there now.
So
Any timeline given for that meeting?
Can't say that I know. They just wanted their weapons soonest. I shipped them out to the diaspora a couple days ago.
Oh, so the weapons are on their way.
Yes.
What did you send?
All sorts of heavy artillery. Kind of like yours, but a little bit more, well, substantial, to say the least. They basically cleared me out of all my heavy weapons.
Damn.
And this
Like, how
was-
many weapons are we talking?
Dozens.
And this was an android saying that they are going to free the robots?
Yeah, I'm all for freeing things, but not when it costs me my whole friggin' shop.
Why do you think that's the reason that these people attacked you?
Well, they came in asking, demanding where I sent the arms. And I've only shipped so many arms out of station in recent days, sorry.
Did they bring these boxes with blankets in, or were those already here?
No, they brought them in.
They brought them in.
Yeah, and they seemed to know where they were going. They took down my hidden door, right into my freight elevator where I keep all my good stuff.
Who else knows where that's located?
Well, I thought nobody. I'm obviously wrong.
You either got scoped out or somebody squealed on you. Do you have any employees or is it just you?
It's just me. I certainly got scoped out, but I try my best to make sure the windows are closed, make sure the doors are closed every time I go beneath. But well, you see your little thing. Who knows what could be hiding under shelves around this place? I don't keep it particularly clean.
Maku's just over here giggling at the pun that Thurgood just made.
Thurgood made a pun?
I made a pun?
You said that somebody squealed on her.
Oh,
squeak.
Maku. That's
It
a
was
little
funny.
rude. Anyway.
Very rude. Very rude.
Is that bad?
That's rude.
I'm very sorry, friend.
Yeah. We don't squeal, we squeak.
Okay, but if someone
offensive
stepped
to
on
his
your
entire
tail,
race
you
of
would
people.
probably squeal.
Anyway.
Squeak.
I'm very sorry to offend you.
So these toughs, like they rolled up like shortly before we got here, maybe a few minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it might have been better if you didn't come in. I might have been able to, I don't know, buy them off a little bit. Who knows?
Well, it seemed like they were like ready to, I don't know, break your arms.
It seems that way. I haven't been roughed up like that in many, many years.
And, Nan wouldn't have wanted to see someone get hurt.
Right. Really, this is about Nan.
It's always about Nan.
The moral rock.
The moral fiber of the entire Scriber family.
Yeah, I was trying my best to placate them. Trying my best. I was going to send them to the wrong place. But, well, I don't need to anymore because they're all dead. Thanks, by the way.
Except for the one that ran off.
Well, he didn't hear too much, I don't think. And if they come back, you're all here. Do you mind sticking around for a little bit? Making sure this place is safe?
Sure.
For 2 days.
Yeah. No,
Well, not 2 days. I mean, I was just thinking until I close and get this mess cleaned up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We can probably do that.
Yeah, it's wonderful then. Thanks, I suppose. I think I should maybe offer you a little bit of support, or a little bit of financial recompense, perhaps.
Would be welcome.
Yeah, I can, I suppose, give you free reign of the shop, I guess, for a little while. Whatever might be left, you might be able to have, I suppose.
Right on.
I mean, you're not carting off with my best stuff. I still need to make some money in the future, of course. I mean, have a look, I suppose. And if you happen upon any more of them weird, woolly things, blankets, kill them. Please.
Yeah, gladly.
They weren't so woolly, I don't think. Like looking at Nival up and down. And
Still
the
obsessively like
scratches all
polishing.
over.
Trying your best to get all the scuffs out.
Yeah.
I'm going to scoop some of what the one that's left up.
Certainly, yeah. It is. You immediately recognize it in its like inert state. It is like the ferrofluidic goo, like those cool magnet toys. Just way more aggressive and somewhat alive, or at least formally. It's pretty fancy stuff.
I'm going to take it with me.
Excellent.
Do I still have the vial of it too? Because I got you to throw me a vial, and I scooped some off my fur.
Perfect. Here,
We got two vials.
There we go.
2 vials of cool magnetic toys.
Yep. There we go. Robotic magnetic toys?
Not anymore. Just a so it is just a construct. So
Okay.
now in its completely destroyed form, it's just
Little
cool
nanites?
little
material.
nanite goos. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Diamond, can you tell
That
me
might be
anything
handy.
else about this Knoll one? I'd never heard of him before.
Never heard, really? I'm surprised. Part of the abolitionist front.
I have heard of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're one of those ones, I suppose.
Okay.
So, who are they?
that they want to free all the remaining androids who are in slavery. Many of my people were built as slaves, like many of your people, I imagine, were built as slaves.
Many of my people still are slaves.
And so are mine.
That sounds very terrible.
Yeah, not to toss you all into the same basket here, but I think they wanted help with that. And I'm generally for helping things. Again, not at the cost of my shop.
Sure.
My goodness. Turn a blind eye if I have to. Don't like it.
Do you need some help fixing stuff?
If you're willing, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can fix some stuff up for you while we're waiting. What are we waiting for again?
To make sure nobody comes back. So we can have the rest or next of this conversation, assuming you're in the process of beginning to pick things back up, as well as pick through the remains of the shop to hopefully look for some potential loot for you guys to have. But we can carry on conversations. So, picking up where we left off, still inside Diamond's defense and surplus, having spent several hours going through the process of fixing up the remnants of her shop, having some more conversations, I am sure, and ensuring that no one is coming to attack the store anymore, as the sort of dwindling hours of the day are on approach. Diamond is seemingly satisfied that no one else is going to come try to break her arms and destroy her shop. Looking to you all, she once again sort of very prominently thanks all of you. Yeah, well, I can't say it enough. It's a good thing you guys showed up, I think. Might have been a bad thing you showed up. Who really knows? You've taken your fair share, picked the bones clean. It's going to take me probably a couple of weeks at the very least to recover from this. But I'm not dead, and they are. And I suppose that's what really matters. Thanks, I guess. You're welcome to shop here anytime, but if you see someone standing outside the door again, they say it's closed, wait till I start screaming next time.
Yeah, you got it.
Fair.
It's not a common occurrence, though, so who knows if it's going to ever happen again. I guess thanks.
All right. Yeah, no, I hope it doesn't happen again, too, for your sake. But
Yeah. It's
till
always
next
fun
time.
when family shows up,
Yeah.
and it's always under these circumstances, it seems. Never once had a family member arrive and things just go well.
That's true. That's true. That's why they moved out where they moved.
Well, that's why I moved out here,
Yeah.
for goodness sakes. A lot of good it did me.
This is what it's like to have a family?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I've been missing out on lots of exciting things.
How is Great Uncle Frank?
Dead?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe?
I think he's alive.
Oh, really?
I think you'd have to ask Frank, but well,
Frank's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were tight.
Well,
They were tight.
like two peas in a pod.
Yeah. I
And
mean, he
that-
might be dead then.
Probably.
Probably the same pod.
Most likely. Have you been talking to Sheila at all?
No, not for a long time.
Well, at least she's probably alive then.
More than likely, yeah.
That's
As long as
good.
she stayed away from Frank and Joe.
Well, that's what I think. Yeah, that seems to be the way it works.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if you see anybody else in the family, let them know I'm still alive.
Yeah.
No thanks to you,
Yep.
at the very least.
Best efforts, though.
Yeah. How about your folks?
Don't know.
I don't know. Well, that either means they're dead, or they're
Could be.
not dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
odds,
those are really the only two options you have.
odds are, and don't take this the wrong way.
They're probably dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
They,
know
were,
my folks are.
they worked for Thinsco, so
Oh, well.
probably dead.
Yeah. I know that's how mine died. I went off on a business trip one day, never came back.
Yeah, that's
Me and Mom went out for a pack of
basically what
smokes.
happened.
This conversation is horribly depressing.
Why?
Let's
These
let's.
fuck families are
Isn't that
huge.
the-
We have
the
lots of
people
family.
who sponsor your
Okay.
adventures?
Yep. All right.
No,
Maku.
a legally distinct, separate entity
Yeah.
co-owned by the founders of the creators of the subsidiary of.
Oh, so you're probably safe then.
What do you mean safe?
Well, these people died while under Sith Co. And if they're the same people that are that are run by the but you're probably fine.
Here's hoping. Yeah, Doc. Why don't we pick that up later? Okay. All right.
As long
All
as
right.
the ticker keeps ticking.
Yeah, the ticker does keep ticking. Okay. Real pleasure, Diamond. I'm gonna go to the Starfinder Society because they have beds there. Boy, howdy, do I need to sleep.
I wouldn't mind finding a canteen there.
Wow. Yep.
If your watch stops ticking, I can just fix it for you.
I kind of
Not
wish
a
it
lot.
would.
Meant
Maku.
by let's go sleep.
Okay.
It's
been a long day.
I mean, it's been a pleasure. We're a mess. Bye.
Well, yeah, I suppose bye. If I see your folks, I'll send a message, I guess, I suppose.
Yeah.
If you see mine, you're already dead. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Love to see ya.
Love to see you too. Bye.
Awkward handshake, weird hug, fist bump,
The, like, kinda
combination.
like,
yeah. What do we do?
Yeah.
Both go to the same side.
Yeah.
Thurgood
Awkward.
leaves as this is happening.
It's really the tail shake that's a family thing.
That gets you, yeah. So as you leave Diamond's Defense and Surplus and head off to the Starfinder Society to hopefully find a bed, it doesn't take you too long before you're on your way there, and Thurgood, you get a message chimed in, not directed to you specifically, directed to the cognifiers as a whole.
Great.
But before we keep going, you're unclipped. You got
Thank you.
unclipped.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be loud. Sorry.
If we all do it.
Yeah, and we can't blame Jesse and Jesse only. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Something about this.
I was gonna say, Meg, where's yours?
Right here.
Oh, wait.
It blends into my sweater.
My sweater.
We'll see how long this
It
lasts.
blends into Dan's sweater, in which I decided to wear for the day.
The sweater.
I think I'm good.
There we go. So there's a message directed to the cognifiers as a whole. It's from Hysteria 7, the blue android, who spoke to you the day prior. Even today, actually, when you really think about it.
Yeah.
That Tazafrir has come out of their stupor for a little bit and may have actually gleaned a little bit of information that they're eager and willing to share to you. If you come to the Archiver's Cortex, they'll be waiting to be called upon to hopefully give you some more information. There's also, oh my gosh, another message for you as well. Where is my thing? There we go. Letting you know that you have a duty to attend to sooner than later. You already know what that is. And you can see looking down, after looking at your watch, that the little blinking light on the satchel on your side is flashing, indicating message unread.
I kind of scan the surroundings. Is there like a phone booth equivalent nearby?
Certainly, yeah. As you're walking, you could probably squeeze yourself into a tiny little phone booth of some kind.
Are there also public restrooms?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the phone booth
Okay.
and situate myself there.
Certainly. So you all watch as Thurgood sort of takes a moment, reads the message, and then sort of scurries his way, shouldering himself into a very tiny communications booth, which is transparent on almost sides, but at least you can sort of wedge yourself into it.
I accept the message as it is, and I sort of watch the screen flash by with what is a script, and then I reach into my tech backpack and open up the glowing portion of it, the satchel that is transports things. I pull out something small. I don't know. I assume you're all watching as Thurgood hustles off. There's something small and sort of shiny in his hand that he sort of crumples up and pockets for a second. Reads over the script and okay. The drone at his side, it comes out. He looks directly into it.
Folks, once again, it's Thurgood Vale, spokesperson for Synthetico and, of course, voice of the vast. Today I have a product that was made in tandem with Gestalt Industries, our partners in psionics. Now, I need to tell you something. Synthetico doesn't just care about your material well-being. What's going on outside, we care about what's going on inside. Your thoughts are your own and should stay inside your precious cranium. You know, there's a lot of folks out there who are willing and able to go poking around in your gray matter. Well, no longer.
He reaches into the crumpled thing that he'd been holding in his hand and unfolds it, and is very clearly a tinfoil hat, which he puts on his head.
Become a warrior on the front lines of the mind field. Protect your thoughts with the Synthetico Deep Cranial Protector. It's lightweight, comfortable, fashionable, and guaranteed to screen out brainwaves down to 300 psi nanometers. Become a Brainiac Bulwark today with Synthetico. Thurgood Vale, over and out.
As soon as he put on the metal thing and kept talking, I tried to use Mind Link.
Absolutely works.
Okay, perfect. That's what I thought.
Thurgood's throwing a tantrum inside of him.
Well-
He's like banging on the
Just say,
inside.
Nivel's gonna lean over to CB2 and be like, I don't even have emotions, and that's embarrassing.
When I saw the drone come out, I think Maku's gotten together that he's doing advertisements because we kind of talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try on my tablet to find his advertisement.
Oh, absolutely. You find it right away. You are live streaming him inside this cramped little box.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants
Do
to.
I see any like scrap tinfoil around? Like in a
you
wastebag?
know, yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Sure.
I'm gonna fashion a hat for myself.
Record area.
You know,
So we're actually going to, if it's okay with everybody, sort of retroactively go back a little bit as
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were all live reacting to that ad.
Guys, look! I found him. He's doing an ad for a hat. It protects
he's
from
doing
theft.
an ad for tinfoil.
You can get it for free. You want one?
It's
Yeah.
not doing anything.
But it's shiny.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it over there.
Just
dug it
don't
out.
think it does anything.
But he says it protects my thoughts.
Thurgood says a lot of things.
Well, most people say a lot
Thurgood's
of
forced to say a lot of things that aren't necessarily true about these things that he's trying to sell.
things. He looks pretty.
He doesn't look happy.
And now you look over and see ad finished, he's throwing a tantrum.
Bang, bang, bang. Distant muffled.
Well, now he doesn't look happy, but he looked happy when
I'm
he
gonna
was doing this
go
one.
tap on
Yeah,
the
he's an
glass that he was
actor.
thrashing inside of, and just point at my hat.
I am going to put my fist through the side of the phone booth and grab it off of Doc's head. I don't know if there's a check there.
Absolutely there is. An athletics check, please.
Oh, yeah.
Can I counter this with a dodge?
You can give me a reflex save, sure.
Okay. That's a 14.
I mean, it's pretty thin pane glass. Your hand just smashes through, but depending on how quick Doc might move, you might have punched through the wrong window in the squares.
18.
As you go smashing through, you realize you can't quite get him because Doc just moves out of the way.
works.
Come here, you little shit.
You couldn't sense I was gonna move.
Come here.
You know better than that. Come on.
Can I have that one?
It's like on the ground, like under my feet. I'd been like stamping on it during my tantrum.
Maku, you can have mine. It really worked. He couldn't tell I was gonna move.
I get out of the phone booth and I start chasing Doc down.
Almost like Yakety Yak
I have a
starts
speed
playing.
of 40.
But I'm
like
just
Tom
gonna
and
use
Jerry.
my scurry to be under his business the whole time.
Almost like tail chasing going on in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
literal and figurative sense as you're trying best to grab a hold of Doc.
Do I have the ability to film on my tablet?
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna.
I'm just gonna send a one-word message to Nivel. It's just gonna say organics ...
Just stand there, just like slow nod.
Both of you, just give me a hard roll 20.
Oh, yes. Oh, come on.
17.
11.
Spinning around until eventually one of you gets tired, essentially.
All right. We need to get. Let's go find somewhere to eat and put our heads for the night
I would
before
like
someone kills someone.
I'll buy a beer.
I have to say, if you get the one that I got earlier, I feel pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I chopped a blanket in half.
You did. You did. Yep.
Well drunk.
Well swung.
That's the
Thank
kicker.
you for teaching me. It was very fun. I would not want to do that on a squishy person, though. That would not be nice. But it was a
It's about
blanket.
the same.
Is it about this? But
Yeah.
Maku's just gonna go into an existential crisis.
I'll just scoop Mako up and keep walking.
Certainly. So, off to the Starfinder Society, tinfoil hats in tow. You make your way back into Lower Spire Complex, where you have a couple options. You could go find room and board in sort of the available dorms and drop off some of your equipment, or head right to the Archiver's Cortex to get your message from Mysteria 7. It's entirely up to you which you want to do.
I want to pick up another one of those ice creams.
Sure.
So we're very dignified. Cognifiers rolling up.
My hand is
I forgot
still
about the
sticking from
archiver's
honey.
quarters. I think we should
Sticking with the
probably
honey
go
being
or
cradled like a
cortex. We should probably
baby with
check
ice
that
cream
out.
in your other hand.
Yeah, I think we should pick up that message. For
Yeah, I
Tez.
think so,
If Tez
too.
is
Yeah.
doing better, then yeah, we got to get as much
Yeah.
information out of him as we can.
Okay. So making your way to the Archiver's Cortex then. This is the first time you've all been here. And as soon as you approach, you definitely get the sense of an enormous repository of information. You can see just a near endless line of shelves or servers that are stacked to the brim with what are essentially hard drives. It's a data center on an order of magnitude that none of us here could ever comprehend. The technologically minded among you know for sure that it would have to be like exagigatera zettabytes of information here. It's huge quantities of knowledge that are on display here. You can see that there's a series of what you would recognize definitely to be anicytes. They're natives of Avalon who are like very uniquely formed constructs with a heightened level of sentience that makes them not just mindless automatons who are moving about on their varied forms, be they four-legged centaur-like creatures or treaded or uniballed, moving about tending to this archive in one way or another. Those of you who don't have any knowledge of like data center stuff, no idea what's happening, but you can tell that they are in the process of endlessly cataloging and endlessly reorganizing the information in a way that probably will never end, given all that's on display. You are greeted, however, by a member of the data files, an android who approaches, seeing you and the notoriety you've already began to earn yourself. They approach. Cognifiers, Hysteria 7 is available to speak presently, if you so desire. Kindly follow me and clean your hands first.
I just stick it in my mouth.
Yeah, you start to clean off the ice cream. As this particular data file leads you deep into the Archiver's Cortex. Once you get about halfway, or what you imagine to be halfway through this huge archival library, you find a lift, essentially, an elevator, which when you get on, you begin to descend downwards, and pretty quickly as the floors are starting to go by, you realize that this huge archive on display is but the tip of the iceberg, as you're going deeper and deeper into wider and wider and wider data farms, essentially. There's quite possibly this sum total of all knowledge trying to be aggregated here. And when you get now down near to the bottom, you can see that there's empty shelves, empty servers that have yet to be filled with information. It's an ongoing process that you do know eventually will probably run out of space, given the fact that it's on a station, but it's ever proceeding. The lift ends at the bottom, which right now is an entirely empty floor. It's unlit entirely, where the upper levels are these clean, pristine, future tech style server rooms. Here it's waiting to be curated. There's skeletal racks that have yet to be populated by servers or any data. There's light fixtures that are hanging, but hanging loosely, not installed properly. You do hear the sounds of faint sort of scratching and moving, and the perceptive among you who can see in the dark a little bit can see there's a series of drones of equivalent to Maku's size, just sort of scurrying about, perpetually it seems, pushing around little piles of dirt as they're going about this business, either for years past or just a couple hours. It's really hard to tell. This is a place of utter quiet. And you start to hear the distinct sounds of footfalls as emerging from the darkness, Hysteria 7 appears in her, or their, distinctive sort of blue hair with the visor over their face, holding a datapad in their hand. As they approach you, now on the bottom floor, she speaks out. Welcome to return, Cognifiers. Tazafir has been sequestered here to allow himself reprieve from the overstimulation of the world above. Please follow me. There is a great deal to discuss. As she wheels in place and begins to walk off into the darkness. As you follow behind, you pretty quickly get sort of lost in the emptiness as the elevator goes back up again, sealing off the light, rendering it entirely pitch black. Who cannot see in the dark, just because I'm curious?
I can see in dim light, but I'm guessing it's black.
I will say it's dim light enough that you can just make out some stuff. So if anyone
I
has
have low light vision.
low light,
Low light.
dark vision,
I think I have dark vision.
dark vision,
Yeah.
dark vision.
Blind as a bat.
You're the only one who can't see.
You have
really?
blind sense, don't you?
I have blind sense, yeah.
Yeah, but only within like
30
30 feet. Yeah,
30
but-
feet and smells.
and smells only.
Yeah,
So you
smells and
definitely-
tastes.
You smell your party.
Yep. I'm fine then. I can follow everybody.
I don't taste anything, guys.
Following your nose.
You can hold on to my tail if you want.
No, I'm good.
You have a
Thank
tail?
I do. If you've never noticed my tail, it's big and poofy.
I don't usually look down.
And I'm just gonna like stick my butt up in the air and wave it around.
Looks like one of those like a Swiffer cleaner thingy, the big poofy ones. So as you are led through the near pitch darkness, you can see sort of emerging in the distance, presumably Tazerfir. There's an android who is sort of crouched up in a quasi-fetal position, but suspended in the air and connected to a series of cables, conduits, and tubes, as if they are connected to a mainframe of some kind, somewheres in the distance. The conduits run up into the ceiling and disappear up into the archiver's cortex proper above, and they're seemingly inert or again, held in this stasis, this sense of sequestering, trying their best to keep them in a state of consciousness. As you near within about 100 or so feet, Hysteria turns to look to sort of all of you. No sudden movements. Keep our speech quiet. He is in a state of extreme agitation, even now. But he has managed to decipher some ancient data files that may be related to what you have brought to us about the Gant, Kurgat, and the Terraforminate. What we are about to discuss, should not and cannot leave this room for the time being. Only myself and First Seeker you are aware. And it should keep that way. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then approach quietly. As you begin to move closer to Tazerfir, you can see there is very faint, almost imperceivable little motions occurring, as if his whole body is vibrating in place. You definitely understand this to be a level of agitation that is, neither one of you have probably ever even been there before. It's a state of pure panic almost that he's clearly in. For the most of you, though, it looks like he is nearly motionless. You can see that there's a small series of lights sort of flashing back and forth down some of these conduits that go from the ceiling into, well, mostly the back of his head, but some into his body proper. And as you approach, once you get within maybe 10 or 15 feet of where he's suspended, it all abruptly stops, and the last little wave of light washes up into the ceiling, and he's completely motionless. Hysteria 7 reaches out and places a hand on his shoulder, and when he does, he shudders for a second before the little apertures that make up his eyes slowly begin to creak open, and you can see a faint blue light sort of piercing through. The same almost blue light that Hysteria 7's eyes seem to shine. In a somewhat garbled, almost binary tone, which I'm not going to translate every time, it begins to speak, and it is something you guys understand. It's an inherent non-language that most constructed creatures can understand. But Hysteria 7 translates it into the common tongue for all of you to understand. The Terraforminate may be a precursor to the Forum, the shared hive mind that the First Seeker, well, they all become a part of at one point or another. It seems as if that technology may have gone awry in a way that could not have been predicted. When so many minds are connected with one another, they vie for control. And often revolts, rebellions, and madness set in, akin to cabin fever that has been widely studied among organic races in small confined spaces, but in an order of magnitude that is incomprehensible by most. Most hive consciousnesses of modern age have limits put in for a reason, to allow overactive minds to go dormant, those that wish to go dormant to do so, and those that wish to be free to allow themselves to dissipate. The Terraforminate may not have had those capacities. Perhaps too many minds have been gathered together at once. One or another may take control at one time, cause untold damage. Others may be benevolent for a time. But as history has taught us anything, benevolent minds often do not come out on top. A scattered mind, while dangerous, lacks the focus to be truly evil, but can be incredibly destructive. We think that is what the Terraforminate is doing. Aggregating more and more and more consciousnesses. Perhaps it can't be stopped. Perhaps you'll all be a member of the Terraforminate at some point. Perhaps I will. Perhaps the entire forum will as well, should it reach here. That is what it's designed to do, I think. We think. Not change planets, but change everything. All consciousnesses as one. That cannot happen. Not for anyone's sake. You're all entitled to your freedoms. This cannot happen. It needs to be found and stopped before it can grow any further. She takes her hand off of Tazerfreer, and immediately a little beam of light starts going back and forth through the conduits. She reaches out again, speaking to you all in the common tongue briefly. He asked for a mere moment, and that was it. Touch, still translating once again. Should any true hive minds be brought into the fold, it could cause untold damage here amongst the Pact Worlds and, well, the vast beyond. The forum is of one such hive collectives. Viscarium certainly has some. Avalon has many. The Pact Worlds need to be protected. The Terraforminate must be stopped. It must be stopped. She takes her hand off once again, and he immediately begins to sort of begin to shake, even obviously to you all as well. We should take a step back for a moment. See if he'll calm. Please. Motions for everybody to move backwards. As you sort of step out of his area of perception, as it were, Asteria 7 looks at you all. I'm unsure what to make of that exactly. It seems fairly straightforward, and yet doesn't answer a single question. I don't know what's happening. I want to. I want to know why such a technology even existed in the first place, and how old it is or was. The form is at risk. That is now your purview, your cognifiers, your starfinders. And one day, one of you may become First Seeker and elect to move your consciousness into the forum by choice. I fear that choice is at risk of being taken away for everybody. I don't know how true that is. That seems like unwieldable power. And that might be the point. Maybe it isn't being wielded. Maybe it's primal in some strange way. I don't know what to think.
What if we gave everybody one of these hats?
No.
It protects your mind and your thinking and your brain.
May I?
Yeah.
To entertain you. Puts the hat on her head. I don't feel a difference.
I didn't either, but I think it just... I don't think we know when people are trying to read our minds or take them away, so...
What's your Wi-Fi strength right now?
Oh, it's crazy strong. Yeah.
Well, so some
30
people
bars.
believe. Anyway. The hell are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's like learning that a star is going supernova. You know, what can you do? What? You can't stop that.
Is this the inevitable result of all hive minds? Are they all doomed to consume without limit?
That is why many of the ancient hives were terminated, were turned off to prevent such things from happening, and why all modern hive minds, hive collectiveness, have limits put in. I suppose any society that grows to such a size becomes nearly unstoppable and unwieldable. A war between the pack worlds and the Viscarian was fought for just such reasons. I do not believe, at least yet, it has the power to overtake whole empires, but certainly destroy a planet and a ship. I don't know how the cognifiers play into this, but you do, or at least your predecessors did, many, many years ago. I'm unsure.
So can't we just find a way to turn it off? If you turned off the last ones, can we just figure out how to turn these ones off?
I truly hope that is the case. And perhaps the message received from Demipi may lead some evidence to that. If the message that was received is at all relatable or connectable to Cerebos, that planet could be at risk, and many others. It could be that some constituent pieces of that hive mind are located at each of those places. They're trying to gather themselves. That's my theory. I would love it to be disproved.
These infospheres, how would they connect all of this?
It's my understanding that they are a more esoteric form of data storage. Coalescing thoughts, potentially whole consciousnesses, into them. Maybe that's a way it's building strength. Maybe that's a way of consuming more power. But they should be uncommon. They're not readily available.
There was like a tank of them on the Myoposis.
And there isn't any more.
Well,
Obviously.
I mean...
The Myoposis isn't anymore.
Yeah, so the tank is there still on the bridge. The dead ones, from what I understand, the ones that were all gray, that they were kind of being sucked into this Ori-type area in the center of the wreckage of the Myoposis, and we only found the one that seemed to
collecting,
still be...
collecting together.
Yeah.
Do you know where the Myoposis remains are? Where
Those
Cerebos
coordinates.
was?
That's where it would be, yeah, in the void space or the debris field of the whole planet breaking up.
I'm sure I would have put some coordinates in my datapad.
Search history.
I will dispatch the Wayfinder drones to that location to see if anything has changed, perhaps.
If you find any of my friend's stuff, can you bring it back too? It probably
That
has
is not
bears on it.
important. That is not important, but it would be nice. But it is a needle in a haystack, beside the point. Thank you, though.
The drone will not return anything save for data, telemetry, and images.
Fair enough. Thank you for trying. So we don't know where this terraforming thing is at all.
It could be in several places at once.
Oh boy. And these planets it's going for, we don't know if it's targeting them because it already knows stuff is there. It's just attracted to the presence of whatever it is it wants to feed on. But it's entirely possible that it's... Why would everything be all broken up in the first place? Did somebody put it there? And if so, why?
A common war tactic is to scatter the enemy as far as the eye can see. Perhaps before the gap, during the gap, maybe because of the gap.
Oh.
It was spread far and wide. If my theory is true, that each of these places hold some portion of this collective consciousness, they need to be investigated as quickly as possible. And if Demipi is one such that is already having portents of potential destruction, that should be, I think, your first stop.
Mm-hmm.
This needs to be uncovered. Truly.
It is our highest priority as soon as we deal with the most pressing matters that we have here in the Pack Legit.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I don't have a choice. Unrelated to the Starfinder Society. But that is where we're going. So we will try to follow up on this as soon as possible. But it's not as if we have any more answers than you. None of us are experts in hive minds. Barely any of us even understand the mind.
Only Tazafir is among the data files who focuses his entire study onto collective consciousnesses, and even he is largely at a loss. The theories we're going on are just that. Theories, hypotheses, ideas. We need to pull them to... Maybe we shouldn't pull them together.
Give them to yourself.
Yes, we need to, I think, work together to find out why. I will dispatch Wayfinder probes to all of the planets that we discovered earlier today that were on that potential list, although Galarian was not among them. We will find that information soon at our glacial pace. You could get to Demipi first, I imagine. And should you find anything truly catastrophic, be safe. You are more important than that planet and its inhabitants. If you cannot stop it, don't. Gather information. Don't throw your lives away.
You mentioned other hive minds. You said there are some in the Viscarium and obviously the Forums one. Are there any other notable ones that we should be aware of?
None to our knowledge that do not have the requisite limiters installed.
Okay. Would I have any knowledge of if the connections the Guardians share would fall under this type of...
There certainly could be some similarities.
Okay.
Absolutely. So if you want to divulge any of that, you can. Like in the game, because...
I wouldn't here and now with them.
Okay.
I might...
Yeah, so you would definitely have those gears turning in your head that maybe. Absolutely.
You keep talking about limiters being installed, which to me implies constructs, but there are biological species out there that share brains. Are they equally targets? Or?
They could be, perhaps. There are certainly several biologicals that have such abilities. Many on Levaria, which is one of the big planets here in the Pack Worlds that have a sort of, there's a not quite hive mind, but these several creatures that can amalgam together for a time, share consciousness, and break off whenever they want to. So similar, and it's purely biological.
Right.
Formians clearly have a hive connection of some kind. So yeah, absolutely.
And Triune.
Triune itself is a three consciousness deity.
Yeah.
So the things are like in the places where there's already hive mind people?
Maybe.
It seems kind of coincidental that they would be on a Formian planet.
In the one case, yeah. What do we know about Demipi? What the people who live there?
Very little. Asteria will answer. Very little. It is a rather austere, if not limited technology on that planet. From at least what we've gathered from our Wayfinder drone, there does appear to be some form of society on Demipi, but it is mostly tribal, shamanistic, sparse. I wouldn't consider it a hive consciousness. It is a thing that needs actual eyes on. Wayfinder drones are limited in their capacity. As we know, we have not yet sent a Starfinder to this newly found planet. So hoping going to be you.
We should talk to them and see what they're like.
I mean, we don't even know if it's inhabited.
Well, what's the Starfinder protocol on first contact?
Yeah, sort of above table-ish. We'll let you know. This would have been in your welcome package, I suppose.
Should have read that thing.
Yeah.
Onboarding pack.
Skip through, pay and benefits. So, no, you definitely would know that first contact is a thing that Starfinders do. We're not in a Star Trek world. It's not do not interfere. Absolutely interfere. If anything, one of the main things that Starfinders like to do is like uplift planets that have yet to sort of reach spacefaring technology. There's also because the drift technology was gifted out to the universe all at once. Any species out there that had the ability to craft it could, but in the hundreds of years since, whole species have emerged from the goo, as it were, and would have missed the boat. So all those kind of cultures and planets need to be brought into the fold is the goal of the Starfinder Society as a whole.
How does this is above table?
Yep.
For communicating across all of this stuff with the Wayfinders.
Yeah, with the drones, it takes a long time.
No, like but like for us as well. Like, can we get a supply of those drones?
Yeah, absolutely. You probably need to reconfigure your ship a little bit because they do actually take a little bit of time. But there are drones that can be used to scan individual planets or whole systems, and you can sort of just launch them into the void and see what they ping back in return, kind of like we're doing with Voyager.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Right now you don't have any build points, but in the future.
Yeah.
But we have cool bedrooms.
You cool
bedroom. Really fucking nice bedroom.
I'm very excited to see my new bedroom.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
So back at the table, Hysteria 7 will sort of look up at you all. I do not want to interfere with Tazafir much more now. We could risk it. He will ruminate for some time, I believe. This is what he uncovered in merely one day. Perhaps before you leave Absalon Station, return, check in, see if we've learned anything else. But there's a great deal to unpack. The Gant is clearly connected in some way, the Myoposis in some way, Kurgit, and now you. You're carrying on where they left off, I think. Whether it was to stop this or put it into motion remains to be seen. We had a warning about Commander Kurgit. We don't know why. Tread lightly and be careful. And as we often like to say, go with your first instinct. We should leave him now, I believe. Is there any way I can further aid you now?
Is there a library as part of the...
Absolutely, yep.
Okay, cool. I can't think of anything else at the moment.
We'll take whatever data there is on Demipi,
Certainly.
even if there's not much.
Certainly.
Hand him my.
Certainly. So sort of retracting and abstracting the next couple hours of information gathering, there is very little to know about Demipi other than it is a planet with atmosphere, normal gravity, and some form of humanoid that exists in sort of disparate tribal societies. But beyond that, not much. It's a pretty sparsely populated world. It's almost terrestrial. It's like ours in a lot of ways, but way out there in the vast. And you do know... Yeah, ways away. And using the way drift travel works, it would just be several D6 worth of days worth of travel in order to get there. There's no definitive, it's X days away. Okay? That's really all they know. You're the guys. You get to discover it.
Cool.
Yeah. So, what's everybody want to do? Having left Hysteria 7, gone back up into the Archiver's Cortexes, where to?
Is there anywhere that I can find a plant and a bug to put into my new terrarium in the ship?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll even say for the low price of just 10 credits, you could buy one of those almost like a super future tech sea monkeys in a box thing.
Space monkeys in a box.
Yeah. Perfect. 10 credits. You can name all of them. There's hundreds.
There's hundreds.
Yeah, there's sea monkeys.
I don't know what sea monkeys.
You don't know what sea monkeys are?
Oh,
No.
Stop the stream.
So sea monkeys were for an older, like early, like 90s.
The 90s, they
Yeah.
were really big.
Yeah.
I know what
But
they are.
they've
To be
been
clear.
around
Yeah,
for
they're
long
they're from the
before
70s,
that.
I
The
think.
lake,
Seven.
the,
No,
That's
those
barrel
are
monkeys.
barrel
Barrel
monkeys.
monkeys.
These are real
These are
living
real living
creatures.
things, yeah.
They're little shrimp-like things that you
They
like.
are shrimp, yeah.
Yeah, you put them in water
oh no, I need something that.
and they pop out and swim around.
But I got a terrarium, not an aquarium.
Oh, then yeah, sure. For 15 credits, you can buy yourself whatever sort of little creature you want. What are you looking for? An iguana type thing, a bird, a spider, a rock. It's entirely up to you.
Toad.
A lizard would sound pretty fun.
Yeah,
That
perfect.
looks like the one you ate.
Should I get the lizard or a spider?
Or are you looking for a snack or a post-dinner dessert?
I just want the first little friend.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to eat him. I'm going to try hard not to eat him. I'm not going to eat you.
You
Yeah.
can find like a D100 table with small creatures.
I mean, they're
roll two,
upgrading
and
our
it's a mix
kitchen
of the
too.
two.
She'll have plenty of other things to eat. We probably don't need to worry.
Yeah, I can tell you just as you're milling about before you go back to your quarters, for 15 credits, you can find yourself what is essentially a chameleon, but it has 3 eyes and one's in the center, so it can go up and down and left and right kind of
I
thing.
want that.
That's
It
fine.
also distinctly cannot change color, but it's chameleon shaped in general with a weird sort
Does
of
it have a
flat
cool
body.
pattern?
Absolutely does. Yeah, what do you want it to look like? You could pick it.
I'll figure it out for
Sure.
next time.
Yeah, there was all kinds on selection, so you could pick whatever ones you want.
Yeah, I want the chameleon.
So you're going shopping for a pet. What's everybody else doing
Do
in
we
the
have some
interim?
cool plants there too? I'm assuming
Yeah,
yes. So
absolutely.
Grab them some plants.
Well, the whole pet store. You got everything.
We still can maybe try to pawn off the pirate coordinates within the Starfinder Society, or did we decide against that?
I don't think we've decided what to do with those exactly yet.
We will continue
did
sitting on
decide.
them. Not everything needs to be money.
Okay, we've probably got like another day still.
Mhm.
We probably want to talk and debrief about all this.
Yeah.
Maybe at like a canteen or.
Well, I will say at some point, if you stop into the quarters provided in the Lorespire complex, you're pretty quickly told as you're sort of milling about the common areas, the normal dormitories where you would have sort of like bunk rooms and things. Eventually, an attendant, a sort of mid-ranking Starfinder, who in actuality outranks you, yet doesn't because of your specific rank, approaches and lets you know that cognifiers actually have access to sort of better lodgings here within the Lorespire Society. So you have access to what is essentially like a villa almost of sorts, with sort of private rooms, common areas, personal chef, the whole 9.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. It helps to be promoted.
Yeah.
So you're in that weird thing where you're like entry level senior management all at once.
The worst people.
Yeah, it's always family.
Somebody's kid, yeah.
Just above table.
Yep.
You like back when we got the list of planets, you listed off like 4 or 5 specific ones, and then said that we had a list of like 15 places that were
Yeah, I don't have them right now because they're on my desk.
cool.
I apologize. Because
No,
like,
that's okay.
yeah.
I mean, I will want to.
yeah, I will actually give them to you all on Discord, and I'll slap them online for everybody else if they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, 11 of them are completely made up, and the other
Oh,
ones are
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we were.
So we're in the villa.
Yeah, fuck it.
Chilling in the villa, and Maku appears with a yet color decided 3-eyed gecko.
I found the
look at-
lizard.
Does that one need to eat?
Yes. What should I name him? Look at him. He can go upside down to this way. I'm gonna just put him on my head. What should I name him?
Call him Topsy, you can call him Turvy, you can call it... I don't know, that's all I got.
Turvy sounds fun.
Turvy? Sounds a little bit like Turdy.
That sounds a little bit like Turdy.
Yeah. Ruminate on it. What the hell are we gonna do?
Well, I mean, I think we know. I think first we have to go to
Aposte, then Demipi,
Yeah.
but then like what?
What with these other places?
I mean, does anybody else have like a sinking, like overwhelming existential dread? That could be unrelated, but I don't know. Also, very good. Just to set the scene, he's wearing like the business cat, but he's like your uncle on like vacation. And he's like his button shirt is like completely unbuttoned, and there's like a little bit of like a beard.
One too many buttons. On
Yeah,
it.
he's wandering around with a mug, and yeah, it's just.
Do you,
Slippers.
Yeah.
do you want to
Oversized
hold Tarvey until you calm down?
Sure.
You can pet him, but you have to be gentle because you're very, very big.
Yeah, of course, I had pets once upon a time. It's very sweet. Can I feed him something?
Oh yeah,
Little
I picked up
pellet.
some bugs off the floor here.
Okay. Yep.
It has this weird, like, trifurcating tongue that comes out and like, grabs a hold of the bug out of your hand.
Ugh. All right, cool. Put him on my shoulder.
It's up to you if it calms you.
So the theory about it picking up other hive consciences isn't the worst thing not that it's not the worst thing I've heard, but I could see it making some sort of sense.
You think if we found another one, we could find the way to shut it off?
I don't know if I'm going that far yet. I have no idea about what this thing is, but it on the Myoposis Kurgat had this vat of infospheres, which essentially is like a bunch of consciousnesses being collected together.
Mm-hmm.
Cerebos, they obviously had like a hive mind thing going on, the Fomians. I don't know a lot about Vesk 2 specifically, but
I've never been to a
No.
Vesk 2. I'm from Vesk 3.
I think we might need to spend some time in the library. And I'm not sure of all the details, but my home planet was listed off the other day as one of the ones that is targeted to be destroyed.
Oh.
That's not good.
No. There's a group called the Guardians on my planet who work to keep our people safe from the monsters that have pretty much driven us underground for years and who we've just kind of kept under control and are taking back the surface from. But they all have some sort of connection. I don't know if it is a hive mind. I don't know a lot about it, but I'd like to look into it some more. And I do know that this connection has been disturbed recently. I don't know if there's a link there, but it just seems like an odd coincidence for several of these places that have been destroyed or targeted thus far.
Yeah.
I
Share
think
that
I-
feature.
I think that it's weird. So it makes sense.
It couldn't have been an accident or a coincidence then
I
that the
don't believe in
Myoposis.
coincidences.
Damn. I can't speak that confidently on this subject, but I don't think it was a coincidence then that the Myoposis was parked in orbit around Cerebos when, it's like you put two magnets together, they're going to tear each other. And you take two magnets, put them in a vat of pudding, and the magnets will find each other, and we were the pudding.
Yep.
That's a
Damn.
gross analogy.
Highly illustrative. Effective. I'm a salesman. So, like, did we just happen to be there where the first dominoes sort of came together?
That sounds pretty likely.
Maybe. I don't know. But if that's the case, then why would there be a hive mind aboard the Myoposis? And how is it constructed? Where did all those infospheres come from, right?
Well, the Myoposis predated the gap. We have no idea.
I think those questions would probably be directed to Kurgat.
Who
Who is dead.
MIA?
We don't know
Or
because
MIA.
he gave us a call before. Well, I called him and then he said, "No, sorry, we can't help you," and then he went away. So he knew what was happening. I have a feeling that he got out.
And some of the ships from the Myoposa did get away.
Yes.
Where would all of those infospheres, like, could they have just been discarded thoughts from one person, or were they, like, harvested?
I
Like,
don't know.
there was, like, a loser's pool. Is there, like, a winner's pool where they, like, scoop out your brains? Was there a winner's pool where they scoop out your brains?
So thinking back to the Myoposis, no, there wasn't a winner's pool. The loser's pool was a pretty select few who were in trouble. Everybody else was just everybody else. So unless there was like a higher society kind of thing on this hive ship, no, not that you're aware of, and you didn't hear any rumors of it existing.
So, do we know if those orbs were like entire consciousness, or were they like saved on like instead of like being on a tablet, they put it in a ball?
My understanding of them is that they were like thoughts, so probably not fully complex consciousnesses.
So it's kind of just like if you were to make a note of something, but in a really, really cool way with I don't even know how it works to explain it.
Wasn't our ship's AI originally good friends with Kurgan?
Kurgan, yes.
Yeah, we need to have a
Yeah.
word with him.
The real life one that he's built off of, too.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll know where
Might
he
just be
went.
him.
Well, and here's the thing, though. Percy's distributed around the entire galaxy now, or the entire known universe.
But
Does
our,
that count? You know, I don't know.
I don't know. Our Percival seems to be from before.
Yeah,
So
Well, I would assume ours is one of the originals. I mean,
I think he's the original.
Yeah,
yeah.
Isn't he?
I think so.
Wow.
well, he was
Sounds like it.
from before the gap.
Yeah.
So
Anything before the gap, it's hard to say.
So why would he be? Well, I don't know.
Hunting down Percival and or Kurgan.
Percival, I believe we knew died, and our Percival is his conscious upload. He was
Do we
on
know he died, though?
I believe that's what we were told. He was on the Gant with Kurgit, and it was a means to, I guess, continue a
Preserve
companion
him.
who passed away.
Oh, okay.
So I believe he's literally the original
So I mean, he probably cared a lot.
conscious upload.
That does sound right to me.
I'm all about that AI.
He probably meant a lot then, you know, and so they were probably
He
really,
did.
really close.
Yes, emotions aside, I mean, he probably knows a lot that he has not told us.
Oh, yes.
probably tell
guarantee
us
it.
some cool hiding places, because if they were like running away, they probably had like predetermined hiding spaces. So if maybe Kurgan got away, then maybe Percival will be able to tell us all their hiding places from before,
Possibly.
and we could check them.
Well, if we need to look shit up, I think Vesk 2 is known reasonably well, right? So, like,
Yeah.
if we needed to look and see if there's any sort of Gestalt consciousnesses there, any hive minds.
Yeah, there are a couple places on the list that we can look up. Eox was another name that was floated that would.
Yeah, and that would be a planet you would all definitely be aware of, at least the pack world dwellers among you. It's the planet entirely dominated by the undead. They waged a war on the pack worlds the beginning of the post-gap era. It's much like apostate. They're in the law, but outside it at the same time. They're generally not messed with. They have a huge fleet of navy that exists. It's kind of sketchy. But yeah, it would be a well enough known planet for sure.
Yeah. So we could look at information on the library.
Absolutely,
I'm
yeah.
assuming it's also like a pretty vast library of information.
Absolutely.
Given that. So I think spending some time in the library tomorrow might not be the worst idea.
At least while you wait for the ship to be done.
Yeah, dividing and conquering a bit, hitting the books.
Well, I think as Thurgood takes a sip of his coffee, this actually might be a good time to end the session. We can sort of spend some time planning, thinking about questions you guys want to have asked. Shoot them my way ahead of time so I can start to get some information ahead of you so I'm not pulling everything completely out of nowheres. And we'll see where we go in our little library session next session.